everybody, and a warm welcome to the Web3 show. I'm your host, Philip Kalinko, joined by my friend Cade Bergman, and together we bring you Freestyle Friday, a show with all the latest weekly NFT and Web3 news. A reminder that nothing we say is financial advice. We are not financial advisors, and if you haven't already noticed, the Web3 space is incredibly risky. Today we're going to be talking about Azuki, we're going to be talking about Ledger, we're going to be talking about Cade's Veecon experience, we're going to be talking about Memeland and the meme token, we're going to be talking about Pudgy Penguins, we're going to be talking about Sotheby's, we're going to be talking about Stepn now being allowed on the Apple app, we're going to be talking about Merc coming into the Web3 space, and so much more. Cade, I missed you, my brother. I missed you last week. How was Veecon?
Yo, miss you too. It was a great time. I just wanted to run it real quick before we start. Your audio is kind of having some weird, like you'll talk and then it'll just be followed up with some kind of weird sound. I don't know if you guys hear that too. I see Crypto Dream in the spaces. Crypto Dream, if you also hear some kind of weird audio kickback thing, give me a thumbs up because it potentially could be me. If it's just me, I don't care. But I don't know if there's anything you can check on the audio side.
No, seems fine to me, but let's see what Crypto Dream comes back and says.
Yeah,
How's it? Testing.
It'll be like, it'll make like a sound like that, like every time you talk.
Let's see what he says. Anyone in the comments, let us know. Is the audio an issue or is it just Cade?
Yeah, because it's every 2 seconds or so. It's like happens like twice per sentence. Hold on. Let me
try to this. Give me a second.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Let me know in the comments also if you hear some stuff. Crypto Dream says, yeah, it is weird. Something's going on with it.
All right. Can you tell me now? Now?
All right. Say something again.
Testing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1,
yeah, it's pretty
2,
bad.
3. Is it really?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's so weird because nothing has changed here at all. Which is strange.
Hold on. I don't think there's anything I can do over here.
Okay, I'm going to leave the stream. I'm going to try to come back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back now.
All right, guys. I'll hold it down. I'll hold it down here while Philip goes and saves the day. Yeah, just got back to. I won't get too much into it because I want Phil to be able to hear it too. But just got back from Veecon, my first ever sponsored vlog, by the way. I told y'all, bro. I literally told y'all. I said I'm gonna keep grinding on these vlogs, and one day someone's gonna pay me to slap their name on it when I make a vlog because they're that good, bro. Veecon was that vlog. I have Art Basel next. That's the next goal. Art Basel's in like 3 weeks. I told my editor, I was like, yo, can we try my best? Can we try our best and get this video out by next week and see if we can get it? Yo, there he is.
I think I got it sorted out, Cade. How is this? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but every fourth or fifth word it goes.
That is so weird. That is so weird.
Is there any other audio input that you can use besides the AirPods?
The problem is no, because if I connect the USB to this, then it can only take 2, so something else will stop working. Let's do this a little
you mean you'd have to sacrifice like the Twitter Spaces kind of thing?
Not necessarily Twitter Spaces, but a couple of things. Just is it still happening for you?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Ah, shit. Let's try this. How's that?
Oh, wait. Say it might have gone away. Say like a full sentence.
Testing. Hello, how are you? Welcome
to the Philip figured it out. Let's go.
Oh my god. All right. And is it loud enough for you as well?
Yep. Everything's good.
Okay, thank you, man. I would have done a whole 3-hour show going.
Dude, well, I barely got anything out before you fixed it because it was only a couple seconds. But as far as Veecon, bro, I was just saying.
Hold on. I got a thumbnail for you. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. I've got a Veecon thumbnail. You should share your screen also in case you want to show something. Just have that up.
Honestly, like there's not too much to share my screen for. There are some photos and videos I can poke through. Oh shit, that's fire. That is fire.
All right, so you tell us everything, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna scroll through Gary V's Twitter and the Veecon stuff. So you talk. I want to hear. How was it?
So first off, I was telling everyone the last few months that like one day I'm going to get one of these vlogs at a conference sponsored. And I was like, one day someone's going to see the level of quality that goes in these vlogs, and someone's going to want to slap their face and their name on it and say, yo, sponsored by. And we had that happen for Veecon. I had it sponsored by Pudgy Projects, their Fast Sneaks with the activation for their shoes. So I repped their shoes for the whole weekend. It was fucking awesome because the shoes were comfortable and they looked great. Got some cool experience also getting some product shots in between a vlog to make it as organic as possible. But as far as the actual Veecon, dude, what a fucking event. 3 times more fun than NFT NYC, NFT LA, all of the ones combined. This was very, very different. And the only way I can describe it is there was one thing in common. Every single person at this entire event that they had is that they purchased a Veecon ticket. Every single person who came. So in NFT NYC LA, you don't exactly know who's in the room. Some people might not even know anything about anything. They might just be showing up. There might be like an art thing. But here, everyone's here for Veecon. Everyone's here for either Gary V or V Friends. And that one thing in common changed the game. It made the level of quality of the conversations very, very different. There was a family feel. It was all under one roof, which is very different than New York, very different from LA, where it's spread out. There's satellite events going on the whole time. This was one thing at a time, pretty much. You know, there are little side panels and stuff going on throughout the day that you can choose which one you want to go to. But for the most part, everything is in one spot. And if you wanted to catch a speaker, you probably could catch all the ones that you wanted. You really didn't have to choose very often. Like the only real decision I had to make was either go to Andrew Schultz's comedy routine, which I ended up skipping for business, which really sucked. I'm not going to lie. I really, really hated to miss Andrew Schultz's talk. Apparently it was pretty funty. But I went to Project Kaizen's party. I got to meet and hang out with Lisa and Tom Bilyeu from Impact Theory. Got to hang out with Shay, the project manager there. We're looking to put together a video and hopefully do some work with Project Kaizen and Impact Theory in the future, because I'm just realizing in these events, especially if you can put in the work and do your side and then make the deepen the relationships that you have that you've already built online, and then go and establish those a little bit more in person, hang out with them, have good vibes and stuff. The opportunities are crazy, dude. Like I got to do some stuff with World of Women, Project Kaizen. Like those are some companies I would love to tie my brand to, because the longevity, I know they're going to be here. I don't have to worry about them rugging or anything like that. But the opportunities are cool, dude. Everyone was walking around, got to see Leap, got to hang out with Thread Guy for a sec, got to hang out with anyone I wanted to hang out with. They were there, got to meet them, saw Farouk. Dude, it was wild. I got to meet Gary.
Did you? Whoa, hold on. There's so much there. Let's start with the last one. So tell us about Gary. What happened there?
Bro, Gary V literally every day for like 6 hours at least was just doing selfies and talking to people. Like that was his thing. He was like, yo, y'all are here to enjoy the conference. I am too. But most of y'all are here to meet me. Let's be honest. So he, I think he knew that that's what most people wanted to do. Even if he was out, of course, everyone wants to meet and talk to him real quick, get a couple seconds with him, a selfie. And he made that time, dude. Even the last day, he opened up another slot for a few hours for people who missed it. Like I would have been one of those people, but I got lucky. One of my friends, Gabriel from Art Blocks, was like, yo, I heard you forgot to sign up for Gary's thing. You're not going to be able to meet him. I mean, you could meet him maybe on the off chance when he's walking around, but you won't get a couple minutes with him. He goes, but I can slide you in. I got you. I know someone, whatever, and was able to meet him, got a one-on-one talk. Got to pretty much, with these kind of people, there's only really 2 or 3 that I care to meet like that. Gary Vee is one of them. Tom Bilyeu was one of them. And typically my first time meeting, I want to just spill out my heart. So this is my first time talking to Gary. So I did. I was like, yo, dude, 2 years ago, I was working a fucking waiter job. I hated my life. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to go. I didn't know what was right, what was wrong, what left was, I didn't know anything. And I was like, you pretty much are the reason I'm here. I'm a full-time YouTuber now. And I'm just so grateful because that has been my dream since forever. And to tell him that felt really nice, because now if I see him again, I don't have to get that off my chest. So that was really good to get that out. I wasn't prepared for when Gary had a follow-up question. I was not prepared for that. I didn't expect him to have a follow-up. I thought I was going to be able to say that, take the photo, and get the fuck out, because it was just so intense, bro. There's like 37 cameras on you, 37 lights on you, photography lights. Like it's a whole entire thing. So like I can see why people shit themselves when they go up there, because I'm very comfortable talking on camera, very comfortable talking in general. And I didn't really stumble over my words, but I felt that intensity. I didn't get nervous, but the intensity was there for sure. And almost shit myself when he asked me a follow-up. He said something like, are you enjoying it? Or what specifically are you enjoying about the conference? And I spit something out like, well, last year, it was interesting. Last year, they had like a 4-hour, 5-hour line to go see Gary. This time they had an app. The Veecon app was nuts, dude. The Veecon app was crazy because everything was there encompassing inside the app. It was very well run. And you could do a sign-up process. You only had to probably wait like at most 2 hours. At most. I waited like 20 minutes or 30 minutes maybe. So that was incredible to see him and get photos with him. And I got to see other A-list fucking people, dude, like Stephen Barter, the Diary CEO podcast host, the guy who's fucking mooning everywhere. He's got like he's for sure one of the top podcast hosts of all time. He's just so good. I knew it from when I first started watching him at like 200K. I was like, this guy's special. And now he's crossing over 2 million or something like that. He's crushing it. And I got to see him on stage with Damon from Shark Tank. And and I had a camera with me. This is the hack. If you ever go to a conference, if you can, get a professional looking camera, like enough to where you're like, okay, that's legit. And bro, I just walked into places, dude, low key, not anything crazy, but I kind of just walked through sometimes. And I had a camera. Sometimes I would have someone with me and I'd be like, oh, that's my audio guy. That's my sound guy. Was able to get him in a couple times too. And that was so much fun. I walked right up to the stage, Philip. I walked right up to the stage, my elbow on the stage, 8 feet away from Gary Vee, 8 feet away from Steven, 8 feet away from Damien, 8 feet away from anyone. And I'm just out there filming shit and just chilling there on the ground, sitting on my knees and watching this thing. It was the most incredible thing. And then the last day, I went and bought fucking V cards. Let me show you real quick.
I've got mine behind me. Mine there.
Hey, those are fire. Oh yeah. I've got a box too. I bought a box the last day. Before I do that, shout out Dylan DeVillain. I love you, bro. Shout out Cowabunga. But Dylan DeVillain picked up these limited edition. Why is this not focusing? These just limited edition patient pigs. They ran out after like 10 minutes every day. So pretty much nobody got them. He picked up a few on the first day and actually gave me one for no reason. He was just, nice. We would be good. I knew we were going to be good friends, but he just gave me one out of the goodness of heart. And I was like, wow, that was really fucking nice. Like that's not every day that someone just hands you that. Didn't ask for anything back or anything. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can one up this motherfucker. So I went up. When I talked to Gary, I brought the pin, had him sign it, and then I gave it back to that motherfucker and was like, dude, thank you. And he ended up giving me one of the other ones, but now he's got a signed Gary Vee pin. And that was electric, dude, to make that happen. And just so I can show you the cards that I snagged, got some cool ones, dude. I only opened one box and I did some trading. Let me show you what I got before trading. Here were the polls, including some kind of like jellyfish thing also, which I don't have anymore because I traded it, but here I got the authentic anaconda. So fire, very rare. And I also grabbed a Karma Kiwi, which was also rare, not very rare, but rare. And then I got the Gary B. Let's fucking go. I was so happy to get that. And then a Red Devil, which people love. I got a bunch of offers to trade this one, but I got so many offers that I ended up keeping it because I was like, shit, I must be missing something. I don't know enough about it, but I don't want to sell it. And then, bro, this is the real one. I got one of like the best cards, dude. So someone at the event who was trading, there was about 300 people trading at the very, very, very end of the conference. It was just like 300 of us chilling. Gary Vee was there looking at people's cards and stuff. It was so fucking awesome. It felt like any other card convention. And so I had this like shellfish looking thing that I don't really care about. And some dude's like, dude, I need that card. That's my PFP on Twitter. And I was like, really? And I was like, okay, well, like out of the goodness of my heart, I want to see if we can maybe work something out. So he's like, bro, pick any of these cards. And I'm like, all right. I mean, the one I had wasn't even that rare, but I was like, all right, well, if you really want it that bad, then like, I kind of want that card. And he's like, fine. And he gives me this, which is a Persuasive Pigeon. It's one of the core cards. It is fucking beautiful, very rare, way rarer than the card I had. And he got to get his PFP. I got to get a sick card. And now I've got a cool little collection. Dude, I couldn't be happier. So cool.
Amazing, Cade. I'm so happy. I see lots of comments from Crypto Dream. I missed you last week, Crypto Dreams. I see Janex is in the chat. We're just getting started, guys. Cade telling us a bit about Veecon.
Look at this photo from right after I saw Gary. I literally was like so overwhelmed. I just like fell on the couch and was just like chilling there for 10 minutes with
Cade,
Chris.
You got to share your screen, my friend. I
don't have all the photos on my computer, so.
But that's so cool. It's really, awesome. Really cool. Tell me this. I know that you're a big Gary Vee fan.
Yeah.
Are you more of a Gary Vee fan after than you were before? What is your feeling here?
So actually,
are you bullish on V Friends in general as far as an NFT project goes?
I'm very my stance on him has changed actually slightly. So now that I got to see him and talk to him and experience real life Gary for a moment, it kind of it took away the superhero persona, which I've been waiting for, because I don't like that, because I know everyone's human. I've been around, I've talked to enough people where I'm like, okay, there's no superheroes out there. Everyone's just normal. Some people are just a little bit more, fucking go get stuff done type of deal. But Gary, I was like, this guy might be a superhero. And to see a normal ass dude from fucking New Jersey like put on an event like this. A-list celebrities, Jessica Alba, bro, Andrew Schultz. These people have to walk around with security 24/7. Like, these people showed up to Veecon to just be part of his fucking rocket ship. And I got a lot of ideas because I was like, dude, this is exactly the sort of vibe I want to give off for the Joyous Kingdom, where you create something so cool that people want to be part of it. And I mean, just look at the fucking talent he drew. It was insane, bro. And to see that happen was very cool. And to see him speak in person and to see someone with that level of stage presence was actually mind-boggling. I have never in my life seen anyone go up on stage like that and speak and have these like perfect fucking pauses, like just the exact amount of seconds to be pausing and stare at people and hold a point and make a point and fucking just sit there and let it sink in. It was incredible to see that. I've only ever been that mesmerized one other time in my entire life, and it was when I was 15 and I went to a Luke Bryan country music concert. I'd never been to a live concert before, and I see him backstage about to go up on stage, and I say, there's no fucking way this guy is about to go up on stage and direct 30,000 people in this fucking concert. There's just no way. How is he going to do it? He's just a dude. There's no way. And I was like, I would be so nervous. I could never do that. And I watched him come out on stage and fucking instantly just turn on and fucking had the most insane concert ever. And I just remember being like, wow, that's crazy that someone could do that. I can never do that. And then as I got older, I was like, no, I can do that. But then to see Gary Vee do it, bro, it was crazy. So I'm macro bullish on VeeFriends. And it was also cool because it was not a Web3 conference. It was a Web3 conference, but not really. All the talks weren't specifically focused on blockchain. There was a whole variety of stuff, a whole variety of sponsors, from Cheetos to Fritos to all these Bud Light, huge companies. And I think that is the one thing that most companies missed, is that they either focus too much on the fact that it is Web3 and it just doesn't matter that much like that. You know, especially once it becomes more mainstream, it's just going to be part of the game. It's not going to be this big thing like, wow, we have NFTs. It's just part of the gig. And I think Gary got that, because that's what it was. It was like, well, this is our brand. If you want to participate in the digital side, we got the NFTs. If you don't, we got the cards. If you don't, we got the merch. The merch is all selling for like 4x what you bought at the event, dude. I should have not opened anything, because everything's selling for like 4x right now. I don't know if they're actually selling, but man, dude, that conference was ridiculous. I met the coolest people and deepened some really solid relationships that I've been hoping to deepen and to work together. And I've gotten a little bit more of an aligned vision for what I'm looking to do. Again, got to meet some really, really cool people. It's really fun for me mainly to hang out with, this is going to sound really stupid and weird, but it's nice for me to be able to hang out with dudes and not feel competitive. Like we're just vibing. And especially you meet someone who's just a sweet dude. They're doing their own thing. They're trying to figure out their place in the world, whatever. I feel that, like I'm also doing the same thing. And growing up, I was always friends with girls. It was just for some reason easier. I think maybe the competition, either I ran away or they ran away, but it was hard for me to have dude friends because we were always competing for the girls. I just ended up only having a few. And I was just, I don't know, it's kind of cool because Web3 is pretty much all dudes. There was a good, mix of girls and guys at this event, but it's fun for me to hang out with guys who are all doing their thing, but not fighting me for it. They're like, yo, you're going to do your thing. I'm doing my thing. Let's be friends. That's cool for me.
Sounds amazing. I'm proud of you. I'm so happy that you're getting into all of these things, making these relationships, which I think is key. And what you were saying, like people that you've connected with, and you mentioned World of Women and Betty, and I'm sure that there's going to be good things that come from it. So selfishly, you were missed, but selflessly, I was so happy that you were there, man. So yeah, I'm really happy to have you back. I missed you. I know the viewers missed you. So let's get straight into it. Hey?
Did you do anything special, or is it just normal stuff for you, hanging out with the family?
No, normal stuff. Normal stuff for me. Carrying on. But I did think about you. I got into bed last Friday night at like a normal human time, because I mean, even now it's already 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Been working a long week. I'm a night owl anyway, so this is okay for me. But I got into bed, I think, last week at about 8:30 p.m. And I said to Bianca, as I got into bed, I said, a warm welcome to the Web3 show. I'm your host, Philip Kaliko, joined by my wife, Bianca. So I definitely thought about everyone. But I mean, this for me has become very much our show. I know it's my show, and you are there with me. But in the end of the day, it's become our show. And yeah, I mean, look, if there was big stuff happening that week, I would have done it. But in the end of the day, there is some things happening, but not enough to warrant it. without you. So I missed you. I'm sure the viewers did. I'm happy to have you back. And yeah, if you're
Guys,
ready, let's get into it.
yeah, if you haven't smashed the like button, subscribe. YouTube, if you're on YouTube, at least like and subscribe. If you're on Twitter Spaces, I see y'all in there. If you want to support the show, if you're excited for it, we're about to talk about all the fucking things. There's been some crazy shit. I mean, we're definitely gonna open the box a little bit on Ledger, I hope, especially. But like,
Sure.
hit that retweet button, bottom right corner. Hit the retweets. The best way to show support. We appreciate y'all. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Let's get straight into it. So, back to our usual format. We had to speak about Veecon. I love hearing about it, but let's jump into a market update. Market update is typically the general market out there, the sentiment, not so much NFT related, and then we get into what's trending, which is more NFT related. So, market update. We have had a crazy 2 days on the S&P 500, the Nasdaq. Everything is up across the board. The big thing that we had that's really helped the tech shares, we had Nvidia reporting yesterday morning, South African time, so almost 2 days ago, and their reporting was through the roof. It was hugely above expectations. Nvidia jumped yesterday 25% yesterday, and today has jumped 2.5%. They've been in my personal portfolio for a while. The bullish thing about them, they make those graphic cards, but they're very much involved in blockchain because people use them to speed up their machines for mining and things like that. So they typically do follow Web3 and crypto a bit, Nvidia shares. So yeah, they've had a crazy day. They're up almost 30% in 2 days. It sounds like a shitcoin. I mean, it's just incredible, but it's not. It's a blue chip, stock. So that's that. And as a result, we've seen all the tech shares, everyone's sort of taking a deep breath and saying, hold on, if Nvidia can do so well, it means that maybe the earnings are not going to be too bad. We already saw 2 weeks back, Facebook's earnings were pretty good. Google's earnings weren't bad. We've got AMD here, the chip maker, also following Nvidia up 5% today. Apple up 1.5%. So really the Nasdaq and S&P 500 is doing incredibly well. Even on the retail side, guys like Amazon up 4.5%. So stock market the last 2 days has been incredible. We did have a bit of a pullback, which is normal about 3 days ago, but we've more than made up for that. Even your friend Elon Musk here, Tesla's up 5.6% today. So very, very bullish on the stock market in general. If we ever look at the crypto market, we've got Bitcoin sitting at $26,800. It is off its highs. And this is a very critical support level for Bitcoin. I don't know the exact support levels, but if it goes much lower, then it's going to break the 200-week moving average, which is a big one. And that could really mean that there's quite a lot of pain in the short-term future. If it can hold this level or break upwards, then that could be avoided. But it's a very critical time for Bitcoin. And since we know that typically Bitcoin moves first and then Ethereum follows and then all the other coins follow that and then the shit coins follow the other coins, really people are watching Bitcoin. So we've seen ETH and Bitcoin staying pretty stable, just holding on to their key levels. So the next move, like big move up or down, especially on Bitcoin, is very, very critical and is going to determine the entire market. So wait to see what happens. But yeah, everything's been pretty flat even for the last 2 weeks. ETH has been hovering around this 1,800, Bitcoin around 27,000. We see Solana holding on just under $20. Overall, waiting to see what happens with that Bitcoin price. So that's quite interesting. And if we just look at our bubbles over here, which is the crypto market in the last week, we can see we've had a really bad week in Hex. A lot of stuff was down. Red has recovered quite a bit. But in the end of the day, you're mostly seeing red on the week, which means that stuff is down. If we change it to daily, you can see following the really good 2 days on the stock market, there does seem to be some good sentiment in the last 24 hours on crypto. And if we look at a month, you'll see overall it's been a really, really shit month. With the exception of Cade's frog. Everything else is down except for Pepe, pretty much.
Funny. Oh my god. Also, real quick, I've been getting. I'm not gonna call myself a good trader because I'm so early on it, but I've finally got to the point where I can look at a chart and like at least be able to pick out a couple things and be like, this thing, that means this, and like I've been putting in the work. It's been taking a while because I have a little bit of like a thin layer. I'm doing a few different things right now, and each one of those requires a certain level of focus. And I was just like, look, I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I have 4 extra things, and I can't condense them less than these 4. So I'm just gonna have to accept the fact it's gonna take a little bit longer. And I'm hoping by end of year, I'll be a solid fucking trader, and I can really, really contribute in some trading content, because that is always, that's like evergreen content, trading content, learning how to trade, talking about why this, why that, what's the reason that this did this, why did this thing wick all the way down and back up, like understanding that stuff as a storyteller, and then be able to actually back it up with some solid trades, bro. I hope y'all are bullish on the Joyish Kingdom and the Friday Web3 show with Philip Kalinko, because I'll be bringing the heat. Philip's already a trader, so you already know he's going to come in with the NFT side of it. But dude, I'm macro bullish.
You know
on
what
all
I
of this
find
right now.
interesting with the charts, which is actually absolutely incredible. Even if you look at like the currency, like the dollar, so we've had a really bad week or two with the South African rand versus the dollar, for various reasons, mostly because we've got no electricity in the country, and allegedly South Africa has been supplying arms to Russia,
Oh,
allegedly, so that didn't help
damn.
because America does help us with aid, and if it's true that we've been giving Russia weapons, then that aid would probably dry up. But aside for all of that, what's interesting is the charts. No matter what chart, whether it be your local currency or the Nasdaq or the S&P or crypto or shitcoin or an NFT project's chart, they typically, if you know the head and shoulders and the different patterns and the moving averages, regardless of the news, the chart follows the chart. So it's almost like the chart can tell you that the rand dollar is going to go down. It doesn't know in advance that there's going to be this crap about Russia and this other stuff going on, but it can tell you just from the chart, just from reading the chart, what it's going to do. And the news almost follows the charts in a way, if that makes sense. And I find that really, really interesting. So yeah, if you can get that skill down, it's a great skill to have. Definitely one that I'm also learning, and I think even experienced guys, which neither of us claim to be, I think like crypto chart readers, even they are always learning. But yeah, definitely a good thing. Good thing to know. So
100%.
we're about to get into what's trending. Again, as Cade always says, anyone who's joining us, thank you for being here, whether it be through YouTube, Twitter Spaces, LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you're joining us. Thank you. Doesn't matter where. We just hope you enjoy the content. We want to keep you up to date. So let's have a look here. What is trending? All right. So on what's trending, we're looking in the last 24 hours on Blur. $14.5 million. Again, let's call that about 5 million just because of the trading that's going on there for Blur points. We got OpenSea also at about 5 million, which is quite interesting. So in my theory, and this is just my theory, I think Blur and OpenSea are pretty much neck and neck. And the figures on Blur are overinflated. We look at CryptoPunks alone, 700,000, Mutable X, 700,000, X2Y2, 500,000. Overall, adjusting Blur downwards, you're looking at a measly 12 million. But we have had a bit of movement in the market. Looking in the last 7 days, the big sales, I have been seeing, a lot of controversy about whether these sales are legit or not. Like Cade has previously said, so I don't know if they are or not, but I like looking at them. I find them quite interesting. We've got CryptoPunk in number 1, 2, and 3. Looks like the same, the same CryptoPunk was bought and sold for the exact same amount.
So some swing, some wash trading is what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's from one wallet, from wallet A to wallet B, and then back from wallet B to wallet A
Yeah,
a few hours later.
That's so dumb,
Yeah,
dude. I swear, that's like 90% of these big NFT trades. I just don't believe it, bro. I just don't believe people are
yeah.
paying 150, 200, $300,000. I'm like, no, I just don't
I
believe
think
you.
we gotta get rid of that to some degree. We got to get rid of that perception of it,
Yeah.
which I think is a correct perception, and we've got to get it more legitimized because it's hard to tell things if you know it's true or if you know it's not true. So anyway, so that's the trades over there. If we have a look in the last 24 hours, the collections, the NFT collections that are trending. I just want to clarify this. It just means that they are doing the most amount of volume. That could be because they're going down. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean when they're going up. When people are trying to exit a project quite aggressively, that project tends to trend for that day. So we'll look at the 1 day, then we'll also look at the 7 day. But currently trending number 1 is Mutants, getting close to Cade's price, where he said they might get to 7 or 8 Ethereum,
Whoa.
where he might be a buyer. I said to him at that stage, it depends on the ETH price. Be careful what you say. So we'll see where he stands when we get closer there, if we get closer there. But at the moment, sitting at 9.5 ETH. Miladies that pumped because of Gary V. Because of Elon Musk's tweet 2 weeks ago, has been consolidating, sitting at 3.2 Ethereum. Bored Ape Yacht Club sitting at 45 ETH, which if you times it by ETH at 1,850, you get to about my $80,000, which previously I'd said is a good buy-in level. I do now believe that we could get lower. I really do. There's just not much happening in the Yuga ecosystem
Dude, I was gonna say,
currently.
I'm not interested really in buying the Yuga assets right now. Like, I would rather hold a Pudgy. I'd rather hold 5 Pudgies than, or two Pudgies than a Mutant Ape right now. Like, I just, especially after Veecon, to seeing the community level, I'm like, bro, there's just not too much to offer from being in the Yuga. I mean, other than a flex, which is just like,
Yeah,
it's not that
so the thing is that I hear you. That now is when everyone's feeling that is a good time to get in if you want to get in long term. I'm not saying right this second, and it's not financial advice, but everyone's buying the ones that are trending. The real time to get in when you're a long term trader and you want
right.
to choose a good entry is when they're not in the spotlight.
True.
And we know Yuga. They go through these periods of not being any news for a month or two, and then they pump news out like you've never seen for 2 months,
Yeah.
and then you sell it, and then they don't. The thing is that is there a rush to buy? And I don't think so personally. But yeah, we're definitely going to talk about Pudgies. Actually, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. Number 4, we got wrapped CryptoPunks at 50 ETH. Interesting to see that Punks seem to quite convincingly have taken the number 1 spot between Bored Ape and Punks. There's always been this thing, which one's number 1. In this current market where we stand at the moment, we are definitely seeing Punks holding that top spot. So that means overall, a person who has this amount of ETH to put into an NFT is choosing a Punk over an Ape for now, on average, which is interesting. We've then got Azuki sitting at number 5, doing incredibly well at 14.4 ETH. We're going to talk about them. Yeah, with Zagabond and all this shit. He's doing well. You got to give credit where credit due. We've got Pudgies, which we're going to talk about now at 5.18 Ethereum. D-Gods holding strong and steady at 8.5. They've been around 8 to 9 since they launched. And that's the real test, is where do they hold at? Not where do they launch at, but can they maintain a floor? And I think it's safe to say, since they moved onto the blockchain about 2 months ago, they've been so stable. It's almost like a stable coin, and that is very bullish for a project, because it means that it's like a stable coin. It's like Solana, versus a shit coin. It's not volatile, moving 40, 50 percent swings in a day. It's holding strong, and that's really good to see. We've got Doodle sitting at 2.2 Ethereum.
Also, real quick on DGods, like, that's the DGods ecosystem, especially Utes for most people. I think as we've gotten deeper in this bear market, people are like, this is something I pulled from Veecon actually, was you see these other influencer people that you see online a lot, and you realize that, like, most of them are where they're at, especially if they're really successful. They're where they're at because they chose one niche, one part of the sub niche, and just really stuck with that, and then kind of let go of everything else. Because I think the reason a lot of people aren't able to create anything from their content is because they try and do 7 different things, and they don't want to let go of market share, any aspect of the game. Like, they will have to cover content about the NFT market in the news because everyone else is doing it. It's like, well, what are you best at? It's like, well, I'm actually, like, specifically good at trading. It's like, okay, well, what if you became the person for that one part of the niche? Now you're that guy. That's why people are like, oh, that's Farouk, that's Thread Guy, that's whoever, because they crushed one part of the game. And with these NFT collections, there are some collections that make better sense than buying than dreaming of getting a Mutant Ape. Like, there might be a better project. If you're a content creator and you're specifically memes or something like that, you got a better chance at having success as a Sappy Seal for 0.5 ETH than paying 10 ETH for a Mutant Ape if you're making meme content. And it's the same with Utes. If you have a certain style, there's a certain vibe in the Utes community, which I love. I love the Pudgy community. I love the Utes community. I'm much more intrigued in that and being in that community because of opportunities I can get and the conversations I can have than getting into Mutant Apes or something like that, dude. It's just a different, I think, reasoning that you get in. And I think people are starting to realize that because certain projects going up and down, some that we thought were so strong and crashing, and people are like, you know, why are people buying that? And then people are like, you know, I'm not interested. And then they're losing people. And then they're like, I would rather have this. I don't care about the floor. I can't even buy that anyway. You know, like I'm not buying a mutant. Like I would love to get a mutant at 7. I think it'll still get to 5 or 6 ETH. But realistically, I'm just like, I'm probably not going to drop that much money on a PFP when for me, there's just not that much of a reason. I'd much rather spend the 5 ETH on Utes, Pudgy Penguins, and I don't know, a seal or something.
Look, it depends. It depends. I agree with everything you're saying. It depends on why you're in it. So we know you very much a community focused guy. And that's a big thing for you. And I definitely think that there's merit there. And I think you fit in better with those communities. If you want to flex, then definitely Yuga's the way to go. And if you want to flip, then definitely I don't want to park 50 Ethereum into a Bored Ape right now if I want to try and trade. I agree with you. Let's be doing Pudgies. Let's be doing DGOs. Let's be doing, the assets that are moving. Even ladies, you can short NFTs at the moment, right? In the same way you do the stock market. So there's definitely trading opportunities. So it really just depends the reasons you're getting in. I do agree with you that in general, I don't think this just applies to us or Web3. I think in general that it's better to focus than it is to try and be everything to all people. So I know in Perkel in the beginning, I've mentioned to you before on the stream, but for the viewers' sake, my business of 20 years. In the beginning, we were selling computers. We had an auction website off the back of the South African eBay where we were an affiliate, but we presented that to our own clients. We had the gifting side. We had a website building business. We literally were being all things to all people. And when we realized where our strengths were, we got rid of everything else because that was diverting us. The computers and everything was diverting us from really the focus and building something really amazing and what we're good at. I think that's the same with content. And just talking about that, and I'm sure you're going to be, I'm really resolved in this. I'm sure you're going to be a little bit, I don't know, let's see how you are about it. But I've made 2 decisions lately, and there's 2 separate ones. The first one is I deleted all my shorts, my upcoming shorts today. So I had 20 preloaded to roll out the next 20 days. I've deleted all of them, and I'm no longer doing shorts on YouTube at all. There's various reasons for it. I've always felt that I haven't given it my all. I've just chopped up long form content. I've always felt I'm a long form guy. I also think in some ways it has hurt me because I think like guys who would have notifications on for me, when they're now getting 3 or 4 notifications for every short a day, they don't want to watch the short. They've turned notifications off. So when I do go live on a long form, then they don't know and things like that. I do think it did benefit me with the things you were saying that someone might have connected with me and then subscribed and come to my long form. But I don't enjoy doing the editing for it, and I don't think I'm giving out good shorts. So I've stopped, and I'm not going to be continuing with YouTube Shorts for now. That's number 1. And number 2, in a similar vein, for the similar reasons, I've stopped uploading to TikTok. I'm not a short form guy. It's not my thing. I'm so busy all day. I don't have time as much as I'd love to take my phone out and take everyone on a drive to work, and I don't want to show my family like that and things like that. So I've stopped the short form. I'm now officially only a long form guy. And
I will only accept that if you, in the bull run, hire someone for cheap to cut up your content for you so you don't have to do anything. But in the bull run, the ROI might be there. I think maybe you're probably okay right now in the bear market where there's not as many people Googling stuff and YouTubing stuff to find information. But dude, in the bull run, to pay $100 a week to have someone chop up one podcast, I'm like,
yeah. Look, I mean, possibly it's not really bull run versus bear run for me. It's just I've always felt it. It's not my thing. It's not what also the reasons I'm doing it is different. I've fallen into something that I really am passionate about. I believe that blockchain and Web3 is the future. I love you dearly. I really feel indebted to our old-time OG viewers like Crypto Dream and Janex and various others that come on and see it. And so I'm continuing with what we do. If a bull market came, I definitely would love to do the upcoming projects, which I love doing, and the trading stuff. But for now, this is good enough for me. But I don't want to continue doing things that I'm doing begrudgingly. And the shorts was that. It was a chore to me, whereas I don't mind, making small, like 10, 15-minute videos from this. I enjoy doing that because I think that does provide value. And I understand that not everyone's going to sit and watch 3 hours of our show. But then to chop that up further into a 1 minute just to try and get that one guy to subscribe, I'm just not interested, and I wasn't enjoying it. And I think, you could tell that in the quality of the shorts and the captioning, and I was just doing it as a chore. And I'm in a space where I don't need to do things for chores. You know what I mean? Like just financially and just my own
Yeah.
life and where I'm at. If I'm not enjoying doing it, I don't want to do it. So I love doing the show. That's continuing, but I hate doing the shorts, and that's stopping. So I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
think it's good.
It's
I mean,
about
especially if you hate doing them and you were the one having to put it together. I would definitely agree. Fuck them.
Yeah, and also I don't think it's like you don't get value if you just chop up like it's like clickbaiting people, getting one word of what I'm saying out to make it sound like I'm saying X when I'm actually saying Y, and you have to watch my long form video to see that. Like trying to make the title as controversial as possible just to get someone's attention. Fuck that shit. I'm not interested. I'd rather put out really good quality stuff on stuff I'm passionate about. People can see my passion, and the type of person that's willing to sit down for 15 minutes and watch one of them. Great, that's my market. You know. Yeah. So I don't know. I wasn't planning on saying anything, but you brought up specifically about like trying to be all things to all people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be on TikTok. I'm trying to be on YouTube Shorts. I'm trying to be on. No, I'm going to focus on what I'm enjoying and what I think I can bring the
Yeah.
most value.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I push so much on it is just because you can have the greatest show, but if they can't find it, they don't know it's the best show. But if they see a couple clips and like, oh, I fuck with that's pretty funny, or I really like that, or oh, I didn't know Philip had a show. That's usually more where I'm doing it. But you're right, the searchability right now isn't really there. Like I'm not going nearly as hard on the short form content unless it's something I can make on my phone where I'm talking to the camera. But I'm actually way less on my podcast clips and out of context stuff for the show. Because I'm like, you're right. There's just not the ROI right now. And I think in a different market, things might change. In a different market, it might be very beneficial to spend $100 per podcast to have someone split it up into 10 clips where the searchability is there. But I think totally fine right now.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, the good news is today is the first show that is streaming simultaneously on both Cade and my YouTube channel. So yes, that's going to split my viewers. The guys who had to come to the Web3 show YouTube now can watch it on Cade, but it's great. It's for Cade's guys who've never seen me before. I'm Philip. Hi. We do a show every Friday. Please subscribe to me also. But I think it's so cool because it allows Cade to get content out of this also. It gets me in front of his guys. Cade's been in front of my guys the whole time, but it gets me in front of his guys. He gets some content out. So I think it's a win-win. So I'm really happy we finally got that together as well.
Yeah.
Well done, my brother.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We haven't even gotten into the news. We've been catching up. I'm happy. I've got nowhere to be. Are you ready for some news?
I'm ready.
Let's go. All right, the latest news, everybody. So one of the biggest things here, and this is also going to go on a complete tangent because I'm going to ask Kay to buy me a toy. But Pudgy Penguins have launched their in real life toys, and it did absolutely incredibly well. They've done a really good job on marketing, and we saw that they've been trending on Amazon. So they've launched this in real life collection over here. They've been trending on Amazon really, really nicely. In their first day, they did about $500,000 in real sales. I do think, obviously, this can show brands that Web3 can allow for positive launch of a brand and of toys, because obviously the NFT holders would have been the bulk of that 500,000. But to think that they were able to launch a new toy into a very, very competitive market. I mean, you're against real big players over here and established, and be trending on Amazon for toys is absolutely incredible. And we have seen that being reflected in their floor price. There's been a massive jump. I'm just going to refresh it over here if OpenSea wants to bug. It can bug, but there has been a really big jump, and I think they also got their seed funding in Pudgy Penguin, where he put in 2.5 or 3 million, and he got out 9 million in the space of a year. I'm not saying he sold out, but I mean that's the value of it. He's done really well. But you can see the toy collection was launched about 2 or 3 days ago, and it's gone from an average price of that's the lowest is 3.7. So let's say an average price of 4 to an average price of 5, which in this market is quite incredible.
Someone spent 12 ETH on that one. Did you see that just now on the bottom? Like the second, the last, yeah. 12 rand or 12 ETH, sorry.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, man, he's got a beard. Let's have a look at
Dude,
him.
this
And
is
a
cool. There
hat.
was a clip that I saw that went viral like a year ago, maybe, or maybe six months to a year ago, and it was these guys talking about companies like Prime Energy, companies like Mr. Beast
Yeah,
Burgers, and the fact that they've got these communities around the online people or the brand or whatever. And they're like, yo, these companies are very, very, very quickly going to take up market share against Gatorade because there's nothing they can do about it. They're like the consumer base follows Logan Paul. So they're going to buy
yeah,
Logan Paul's Prime, not going to buy Gatorade. And it's literally working with this kind of thing. If Pudgy Penguins can get, I mean, for people who don't know, I say this every single show that we bring up Pudgy, their Instagram is ridiculous. Like they've literally got, they're gonna crush past 1 million followers, and they have nothing to do with Web3 on Instagram. It's just funny skits with penguins on it and fucking
yeah.
really, really good community builder styles of content. They're destroying everyone else in that aspect. And I would bet that like because of their Instagram, that's got to be close to 50% of the reason at least that they've done well in this market, because this is not really a Web3 market. In my opinion, I don't think that's buying these toys. I think some people are, but I think they've really marketed this very, very well to people who are going to buy these toys. I've already bought a couple of the toys. There's a big
Cade, I
scam
need
with
you to
Veecon.
get me. I need you to get me, bro, because I can't get a ship chat.
Which one
Can
you
you
want to
get
get?
me?
There's a few
Well,
options.
share your screen and let's buy live. Come on.
All right.
And like always, I'll pay you straight after the show because you got a package for me. So far, you've got my Bitcoin Pez dispenser, that crypto dream. Thank you, my brother, organized for me. Then you've got my V-Friend toy, and now we need a Pudgy Penguin. So let's go shopping together because I really want to get one. But they have done well. I will push back on you. I think the initial few days of sales, I would say 70 to 80% would have been that existing market. You know, they've got a NFT collection with a huge amount of people, and you want your toy. And I think that that's the value. One of the value props of marketing through Web3 is community. You build a community base of supporters that should you launch something in real life properly and well, you've got a support that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yep.
So the real test, like anything, is going to be, in 3 months, what are their sales per day? Are they growing? Are they not? But they are very marketable. I mean, and you said they have been rolled out very, very well. The campaign has been really good. And they're
All right.
cool. They're cool toys.
I'm sharing my screen
But
right now, by the way.
let's do it, bro. I wanna.
So
All right.
all right, just so people can see. I already bought these too. So these are the ones I bought a little while ago. So I'm gonna get this guy, and I'm also grabbing this guy because they're cute as fuck. And here's what we got. When you type in Pudgy Penguins on Amazon, this is what you get. So if you guys are on Spaces right now, head over to the YouTube stream or the Twitter stream, wherever, to see the video. It's on the top, pinned to the top. These are options you get. Very cute. This one's clearly like the flagship Pudgy Penguin because it's cute. And but these are all really fun, dude. This is cool because this one right here, this one reminds me the same. It's probably the same manufacturer for Cool Man's Universe. They've got a very similar box. It looks like to be the exact same material as the Cool Man's Universe character, which I can pull up. Actually, I can show you right now. I have it.
So the question for
Oh,
me is going to be: do we want the most popular one? No, we want the one that's going to sell the least. Actually,
so depending on,
from a
I don't
collector's
know if these are really
perspective.
going to be something you flip, to be honest, because these aren't expensive either.
No,
They're
no,
like,
I want to hold them. I want to hold it. But I'm saying one day, like in 30, 40 years' time, you've got one of the first Pudgies where, they only ever sold 1,000 of them,
yeah, I guess so. Also, here's
I
the
like the figurine.
little toy. So I think it's going to
Yeah.
be similar to this material, this size. It's about the
Do
size.
you think it's the same sort of manufacturers as
It,
Funko Pop? I
it,
mean, that's what
yeah,
it looks like, right?
yep. So what are you
So
thinking?
the question is do we go for a Funko Pop style, like what you're saying, or do we go for a plush toy one? What do we think? I mean,
I think you should get both, dude, because the plush is cute, but you're not gonna. I think it may come in a bag. Like I don't know if you'll be able to keep it mint like this, where it looks really cool. I would get one of both, dude. These are both pretty cool, and then smash one of these.
I want one that's not going to be one that they buy, that a lot of people buy. I
Bro,
actually
there's only
would
four
prefer.
options. There's like 4 or 5 options. Like
Well,
everyone's
you got
buying.
the
Oh,
big plush, the huggable plush, right? Is that the one that you're saying with the hat is a huggable one?
I mean,
Let me share my
huggable. They're
screen over
it's
here.
just a stuffed animal.
Okay, the one thing about your screen is the wrong freaking shape, man. So you lose. You
The
see
wrong
here,
shape, you said?
here's your huggable ones.
Wait,
What's
where did you type in? Why
so
do I
there's a
not
whole
have that one?
section dedicated to Pudgy Penguins, right?
Bro, where?
I'll show you, and I will put the link in the video for everyone. So it's Amazon,
Oh, I
and
found it. I found
it's
it.
got a Pudgy Penguin store
Yep,
on Amazon here.
found it.
So you've got the figurines, which is the ones like a Funko Pop. You got the huggable ones, then just positive penguin, it seems,
Mhm.
with different signs. Then the plush buddies, and you know what's cool? You can get some secret traits in these that if you get them, I mean, the traits alone are selling on Polygon for as much as the toy. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I
Wait,
mean,
for
these seem to be the different types, bro. You
okay.
got the smallish ones,
Yep.
and you got the big huggable ones. I like the huggable ones.
I didn't know they were
Uh,
that big, dude. That's crazy.
and then well, that's the huggable ones, but the one you were showing is the ones that are called plush buddies over here. I think. Let's have a look. That's the smaller ones.
Hold on. I am looking at different ones than you are. I don't know what size. So huggable is the big one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did get one of those. So I have style D. Guys, if you're buying Pudgy Penguins, I would love to know if you guys are in space or YouTube, if you guys have bought some AirRoll stuff. This is fun for me because I'm a fucking collector. So I had a ball of Veecon. By the way, the second floor of the stadium, Philip, was all vendors, all collectible vendors, cards,
That's
Pokemon
bro.
cards,
I would have
defense
loved that.
cards, toys, fucking
I
everything
would
you
have
could
loved
ask
this.
for. The entire second floor of the whole stadium. 80% of it was vendors, like a garage. It was called Gary's Garage Sale. It was fucking. Me, Dylan, and Chris got stuck in the Matrix for 4 hours in the vendors. We just couldn't get out. We
Yeah,
just
I would
stayed
still
there.
be there. I would still be there.
It was
I
awesome.
like from the huggable ones. I saw your style D. I actually like Superman.
Okay. You want to buy a Superman?
No, I'm not sure. We're still deciding. I mean, then I don't like the guy with the sign. Not really interested in him, but I do. I'll tell you what I definitely do want. I do want one
That's
Funko.
cute.
So let's start. Let's start there, but not the one with the sign. So I
Wait,
want
where did you? I'm gonna find that one. I didn't buy that one.
Pudgy Penguin figures, bro. You were looking at these.
All right, you looked at Pudgy Penguin figures,
This is the one that you said looks similar to your Cool Man's, and I agree.
and then you said on that one you can get different styles. Okay, that's what I'm not
Yes.
seeing. This is what I wish they would either make a
Let's see
different
what you're
listing
seeing.
or allow
No,
me
you're
to
seeing the
see.
same thing as me. You're seeing the same thing as me.
No. But when you're looking on their Pudgy Penguin site, you don't see styles B, C, and D. They're part of style
Okay.
A, which I don't
But
like.
on Amazon, you seeing the same thing as me, right?
I am now.
Yes.
I just wish you could.
Okay. So I'm trying to. So you saying this one is the one that everyone's seen that thinks it's the only one? Is that right?
No. For the huggable ones, that original one, the style D for
Okay. For this one, which style is it? Because that style I don't want. Because most people are buying that. I want one that
that
most
I
people
don't know.
aren't
That one,
buying.
no. The rest of them are spread out everywhere. The only one that I know of that everyone's getting is that big blue one that I told you about. I'm about to get this purple thing, dude.
Ooh,
This
I think
4.5
I've lost
purple
you,
jacket
Cade.
one. I'm buying one.
You're back. Sorry, just say that again.
I just bought for myself. I'm gonna buy Style A, Pudgy Penguins Authentic 4.5, Good Vibes, Pudgy Penguins Purple. Got a purple hoodie, black
Hold on. Are we
sunglasses.
in different?
That one.
Oh, you like the signs.
I'm grabbing one of those just because I think it's cute.
Okay, you get one. Put that in your basket. I'm not into them. I'm choosing which style. And if you guys are on YouTube, let me know what you guys prefer. This is style A. The dude with the sunglasses. He's wearing a sombrero hat. Guys, if you're in Spaces and you want to come have a look, just click on the pinned tweet on the top of Spaces to come to the YouTube stream. Hopefully, it's my YouTube stream, Cade, not yours. This guy, Hawaii shirt. What do you think?
Did you like the Hawaii stuff? Because I know you had that bored ape with the. I don't really much care for that style. That's just me personally. Probably because I grew up on the beach and I saw a bunch of fucking rednecks and annoying people always wearing those shirts, so I fucking hate them. But for yourself,
Just
if you like
thinking
that trait,
which one is the most collectible here of the two.
oh,
It's
buy
between
more
this
than one.
guy.
They're $20.
No, bro. I'm not interested. I want one,
I
one
like that
of
one.
this, and
The top hat's
I
cool.
like the. You like him.
I think that one's the coolest for me personally, but they're all cool.
Top hat Pudgy. No, he looks like a murderer. You see, I'm from South Africa.
All right, well,
We
don't get
got
that one.
different. We've got different backgrounds.
Oh, Kit says, what happens to the NFT marketplace on Amazon? Bro, I don't fucking know what happened to that. Ledger happened and everyone forgot about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, like a lot else. So the Hawaii guy here he is with a fish on his head, which I think is quite funny,
Yep.
but weird. This guy I definitely don't like, and this guy I definitely don't like. Style A is this one. Style B, that one.
Get style B because you like that style more.
Yeah, I didn't see the. All right, let's do it. Style B, Cade. One style B to the cart, please.
All right, style B.
Okay, now
Got it.
I'm gonna have a look at the what else we've got. So this one you were saying that's the huggable ones.
Yep.
Let's have a look here. I've never liked the trait of this hat. You know that we actually spoke about it.
I think it's cute.
Don't want that. Don't want that. I really like
That's
him.
funny.
Let's do a style A huggable plush.
Style A.
The
All right,
one
and
that
I'm
looks
gonna
like
add these to my
Superman.
cart, but after we get off stream, I'll double check with you and I'll get your address and just make sure everything's good. But so far, I've got
Okay,
your.
no, but you're getting it sent to you, and then we're gonna do
Oh,
a whole
right,
package together
right,
when
right,
my shoes come for Nike.
right,
Yeah, so you collecting a package at the moment. So definitely style A is this one, right,
right.
Cade?
Yep.
Cool. And then we see if there's anything else here, because coming from NFTs, I'm used to dropping 2 ETH on Pudgy Penguins. To be able to drop $20 is so much fun. It's
Yeah.
like there's
Right?
no stress. It's just nice.
I know. I'm like buying these
don't-
right now, and I'm like so happy that I'm not spending $1 million.
Yeah. I
know
don't
what?
like
Fuck
the
it.
sign noise.
I have a interview with myself coming soon. I'm gonna buy an extra one of these and give one away
I think that's cool.
for
I
the
think
podcast.
that's really,
So,
really
guys,
cool.
if you're not following me on Twitter, especially, that's where you guys will see when I go live. But if you want to win one of these pudgies, I'm gonna give one of these away soon. So,
Nice one.
oh, yeah.
Let's go, Biscuit Party. Welcome to the Web3 show.
Hey, what's up, Biscuit?
Nice to see you. We're just buying some Pudgy Penguin toys.
I wonder
I think this is so cool. This is so cool for the space. I just think it's really great. And hats off to them, what they've done. They've really turned it around. This is quite cool. Grumpy Penguin. Have you seen this?
Oh, I didn't know that was Pudgy Penguins. There's a bunch in here that don't look like Pudgy Penguins, and I can't tell if they're by the same company.
Grumpy Penguin. I just want to see as well. This might not be. Just hold on. This might not be. Hold on. No, that's not a Pudgy Penguin.
Bro, I'm typing in NFT toys right now, and I just found the Bored Ape Yacht Club Snoop Dogg NFT character.
Why do you stop sharing your screen? Just put your screen up, and then I can just click to it every so often.
Okay, I have it right.
Cool.
No.
Just to clarify for the viewers who are watching, only the 4 from here are actually the Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah.
You got the figures, the huggables, the figures holding up a sign, and then Pudgy Penguin plush buddies. Let's just see if we like these, and then I'm going to share yours. No, I'm happy with the 2 I got. Okay, let's have a look what Cade's found on Amazon here.
Look at this, dude.
That's Snoop. How much is he?
$200.
Are you fucking mad? No, thank you. I've got my. That's what I said to you. This guy, this dude over here from
I'm not gonna lie.
Plastic.
This guy's pretty fucking ugly.
I mean, they raised.
Bro, I would much rather have that one.
Bro, $3 million in 24 hours. Super Plastic.
Jesus
from this
Christ.
compared to Pudgy's $500,000. But I mean, the market was very different. So I got 2 of these, hey? I've got one in the box and one out the box.
Guys, smash the like button if you think Philip should just give me one for free.
I'll tell you what, Cade, come and visit, and it will be your welcome present.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm down.
No worries.
I'm looking at NFT toys right now. There's not a whole lot to be honest.
So the other thing that's interesting is Hot Wheels. You remember we did that segment on Hot Wheels. They're doing a lot more now. And showing use case there as well, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, just to finish off this Pudgy thing, hats off to Luca. I think it's absolutely amazing what he's achieved there, and good on them. And it just goes to show, that if used correctly, and if you're very lucky, you could successfully launch an IP play with Web3 and NFTs, and he's proven that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy about it. I think it's great. Cade, anything else to add, my brother?
No, I'm just making sure I get this order right. So I'm getting 2 of the purple ones, one for me, one for the giveaway. I'm getting your Pudgy Penguins Huggable plush. with the Superman style,
Yeah.
and then you have your Pudgy Penguins figure with the
Hawaii shirt
Hawaii
and the
shirt.
fish on his head. Yeah, you can check out. It sounds
These
right.
will
We
be here in about 3 weeks.
Amazing. We got Crypto Dream saying Philip spends $30 on a Pez dispenser but looks at a penguin. $20 looks a bit pricey. Look, Crypto Dream, I told you, I did say in the show, maybe it was when your signal went out, the Rand, my currency versus the dollar, has depreciated 30% in the last 2 weeks. Okay, it's gone from about $18.50 to the Rand to 20. It touched 20. And if you look a year ago, it was $15 to the Rand. So yeah, man, $30 is the new $20.
I guess so.
It's not really that. I'll tell you quite honestly, I've got a room behind me full of collectible stuff. And I don't want to really collect too much more. I don't want it to be on my children to have to figure out what's what and try and sell this and try and sell that. So I'm being very selective with what I buy in general. I've got, honestly, one day I'll take you around. I've got an entire room filled with stuff. It's the time to start to slowly let stuff go. So yeah, I'm being very selective, but this stuff I'm excited about.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, the next big news. I mean, these guys also seem like they're not going anywhere. I can see what's going on. There we go. We've got 9gag and Memeland. Really interesting, a new project relatively that have done things completely against the normal rule book and are doing really, really well. So Ray Chan is their CEO, and he's come out and he said, look, we're going to be launching meme coin. So again, we're in a time where there's so much uncertainty regarding what is considered a security in crypto, what isn't, America being so against securities, Gensler not able to tell you anything, at a time where people are shying away from a token, and like badly, we got 9gag saying, look, here comes meme coin, we're launching it soon. And that's been their mantra. They've really gone against everything. I mean, even before they launched their NFT, they launched their special NFT, which gave you access, and had people dropping 5 and 6 ETH that we all thought their Discord had been hacked. And they really haven't cared. They've done it their way. So yeah, they're doing that again, and good on them for doing things their own way. Whether they succeed or not, at least they can say they did it their way, right? So they're launching a meme coin soon, in brackets probably. Move fast, startup mantra. After running 9gag for 15 years, I've learned that sometimes it's bad to be fast. Sometimes we need to go slow to go fast. No, I'm not making a sex joke. Many tokens were or are launched with poor legal structures. They put themselves all at risk on their buyers and their holders. Those teams either underestimate the legal risks or don't plan to stay for the long haul. People tend to do things recklessly when they don't think about the future, which I agree with everything so far, just by the way. We must plan and act accordingly when our goal is to make Memeland a top Web3 company and at Memecoin a top token. So saying if you want to do it in the long run, you really need to do it properly. And they've been consulting. I'll just sum it up with you. They've been consulting with lawyers. They've been doing so for a while, and they're at a stage where they think that there is more value than risk in launching the token. And if they do launch the token correctly, which they are doing, and they've shown this legal letter with some things retracted, then it's not a risky, and it's something that can add great value to what they're trying to achieve and to their ecosystem. And personally, in my very humble opinion, because I definitely don't know everything, I actually agree. They are moving the gaming way. That's what they want to do. We've seen from Roblox with their Robux that if you do want to do that properly, you do need a coin. And so call it a security if you want, but just register it as such and do it properly. And yeah, I think it's really bullish, and I actually think it's a great move in this particular case. I'm not saying that everyone should do it, but I think it's something good for 9gag and for Memeland.
Yeah, I think this kind of decision is reserved for the few who are not a PFP project run by a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing. This is a very different type of decision, I think. Probably a lot more went into this than we think. Probably way more months of debate about whether to do this or not than we think as well. It's really easy because every NFT project falls under the umbrella of NFT project that most people think a lot of decisions are sort of just decided on a Monday and rolled out on a Tuesday. And I just don't think that's the case here. So I'm sure they've especially after seeing so many things go wrong, I'm sure they've at least kind of worked through those things that got the other people fucked and was like, okay, we're for sure not doing any of these things. We should be all set. And also, I just noticed Evergreen Jones grabbed some Pudgy Penguin toys while we were doing it. He just tweeted it under the spaces. So I just shared my screen.
Let's go.
Shout out Evergreen for getting some Pudgy Penguins. Yeah, you're right. Someone I saw earlier, I think it was Crypto Dream, says we need an affiliate link. We do, bro. We're out here pumping Pudgy Penguins. We don't even hold a Pudgy Penguin. We just have toys.
100%. So, Cade, look how cool. You're sharing your screen. Let's have a look at the spaces and how we're doing on the spaces. Let's say hello to some guys in spaces.
See, how do I pull this up? Can I just like
don't rug yourself, hey?
I don't know how to do this. Yeah. Shout out to everyone in spaces right now. We appreciate all y'all.
Who do you see over there? Let's give them proper shout outs. No, I can't read their names.
Oh, you can't. Okay. Malu Bosalia, appreciate you. Builders Collective, appreciate you. Kawasaki.soul. Hold on, wait, hold on. I can actually maybe read these first two characters. This is Japanese. Fuck, I can't remember, dude. I knew these at one point. I definitely don't know the kanji. But shout out to whoever from Japan. Easy Hasumi, appreciate you. Evergreen, appreciate you. Caesar, appreciate all y'all in spaces right now. And then,
amazing guys, thank you for joining us. It's funny, we did lose one guy while we pulled that up, so maybe that was either random. Yeah, maybe I don't want to be on camera. Well, there we go. We'll see if we ever do that again if we lose someone else. But let's fucking go. Good. So we're selling some Pudgy Penguin toys out here. All right, let's have a look what's going on next. I'm going to share mine. All right, so we had Sotheby's auction for the assets that had to go under the hammer. So, people were not sure what they were going to see here. I've just lost, welcome to South Africa. I've just lost power. Just give me 1 second to pull up my notes and then I will be back with you. All right, so if you remember 3 Arrows Capital, they had all these assets, right, of NFTs, as well as crypto tokens as well. But because they're under getting liquidated, some of them went up for sale. They were able to raise $2.4 million, bro, selling NFTs on auction with Sotheby's, which in a bear market is quite incredible. So some of the big sales that we had there was Fidenza's 87 ETH, Ringers 43 ETH, Gazers 18 ETH, Archetype at 12.5, Squiggles at 11.5, and Meridian at 9.75. And I think something that is clear here, obviously, Three Arrows held a lot of art NFTs, but definitely quite bullish for the art space in general, the NFT art space in general. We've always said, blockchain technology is really a good use case for art. There are many people that are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on what they think is a real Picasso. That is not. I mean, not many people, but there's many cases of people that have bought a high-valued piece of art thinking it was completely legitimate, even from a reputable art gallery that thought it was legitimate, only to find out, years or decades later that it wasn't. And if done correctly, this is avoided through Web3 and blockchain technology. But yeah, I mean, who would have guessed in this type of market that we would see this, Cade? Like, $2 million raised for the sale of a couple of NFTs. It's quite incredible, I think,
It's that immersion of both, or not the immersion. It's the coming together of two worlds and two different audiences, I guess, that makes it work. Like, that's why I was so excited about Veecon, because it wasn't specifically Web3. There's a whole, it felt like any other normal convention just had a Web3 initiative, Web3 component to it. And I think it's pretty much the only way it's going to happen. Same with augmented reality, blockchain.
Same with Pudgy Penguins. It's the same thing. It's real toys coming together with blockchain. Same thing with the Hot Wheels that we were seeing. All of that. It's like, it's no longer okay just to be an NFT company, and that is our thing. That's we different. You're not different. There's hundreds of projects that we're launching every day. It's about adding value through NFTs to another great idea. Yeah.
Damn, bro, we're out here sounding like doodles right now.
We got Genesis Truffle. Welcome. Good to see you,
bro. Thanks for being here.
All right, so we've had a very interesting 2 weeks, Cade. I'm going to let you actually lead with this, my brother. We're talking about Ledger, but I will cover where we're at currently. But you want to maybe sum up for the viewers, to some degree, what the FUD was, what happened here, and what the feeling is about it.
So on day one, they dropped a big thread saying, yo, we have a new thing called ledger recovery. It's going to give people who don't want to actually have their own keys an opportunity to sort of just parry it off to someone else. Essentially, we're another bank is kind of what it sounded like, especially. And it got met with a very, very large amount of hit back. You know, people were like, what the actual fuck are you doing? Because they were like, yo, all you have to do is sign up for this new update. And it sounded like when they first said it that everyone's going to have this no matter what. And it's going to be this situation where anyone can kind of go through a back door and have access to your ledger. And everyone was like, wait a second, I thought that was never part of the game. I thought that was not part of the gig when I first signed up. And then someone came out, and there was a bunch of confusion saying, yo, everyone has always had a back door. There was another side of it saying, no, it's only if you accept this recovery and choose to do it, do you now have access? And now we're seeing a lot of people saying, no, this has pretty much always been there. And then Ledger, I know, has deleted a couple things since just to sort of keep themselves safe and figure out the right way to kind of go about the PR. And then instead of saying, yo, we're going to either roll it out or we're not, they said, how about this? Crypto Twitter just shit on us. Like, they don't give a fuck whether or not it was right or wrong. They're just saying that's not okay for y'all to just roll this out. So now we're at a point, at least the last time I heard, they're going to roll it out, but only after it's been checked by everyone. So I don't know what that means. I don't know like what time frame that looks like. All I know is Ledger really took a risk by doing this, because this is very bad for people who are deep in crypto, who are big proponents of autonomy, taking care of your own stuff, having the full responsibility. I just know that's not possible for 99% of people. So I don't think this is that bad. It's only going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. It's only going to be bad if it comes out that there was always been a backdoor and there's always been a way to get your funds. If that comes out, even though I'm loyal to Ledger and I've got friends in the team, I would leave Ledger if that comes out that, yo, this has always been, there's always been a backdoor. It's never actually been safe. We're not quite sure how this is, like, how we're at this point right now. But if it comes out that that's always been the case, then your shit's not safe in Ledger. It's just literally not. Like, I don't have a choice. It's not like I want to leave, but if we find out that there's always been a backdoor, whether or not you're the one who clicks on Ledger recovery, yes, bro, yeah, I guess I'll have to go to Arculus or something. I don't really want to, but
Yeah, so I think Kate's covered it really nicely. I understand the thinking of Ledger is saying, look, if we want proper mass adoption, yes, Ledger has got a huge market share, the biggest market share as far as, having your own, not your keys, not your coin, having control of your own crypto, having your own phrase that without it, no one can access it. And that's what we want as Web3 natives. The downside of that is that, if you do lose your paper with your recovery phrase on it, and you've got $1 million or $10 million or whatever in assets, that is lost forever. So you can imagine Ledger saying, look, if we can completely safely, have a way that we can avoid that and allow there to be some sort of recovery of that phrase in the correct circumstances, and put everything in place that can only happen by the holder or whatever, like a bank does. If you lock yourself out of your online banking profile by putting in your wrong passcode 3 times, you can walk into a bank, you can provide some information, and you'll be able to get your account back. And I think that there's definitely merit to that, and to wanting that, to having the ability to do that. But that is at odds and does jeopardize the safety of being your own bank, which is what crypto is all about in a way. So I think it was something that they should have known that there would have been backlash. I think there was huge misunderstanding in general, that people thought that, number one, they had already rolled this out, and that, number two, that rolling this out meant that their key was backed up to a third party place, where if that place was hacked, someone could access their assets, which is not the case. And Ledger's coming in and saying, no, that's not the case. You would still need your own device in order to be able to recover it, but we were just exploring those ways. Now, on the other side of that coin, so that was the very kind coin to Ledger. On the other side of the coin, you say, okay, a Web3 native company like Ledger, valued at close to $1 billion or two, they should know that their key market currently is Web3 native, and that their key market currently does not want anyone including themselves, having any access to be able to get their phrase and their keys. And they should have really rolled this out a lot more carefully. They should have had spaces for months before and asked people how they think, and have proper polls where people could vote and explain it properly, and have seminars where they explain it, and so that it wasn't such a shock. But they came out, and as Kate said, they have deleted a lot to begin with. But they came out and basically had this video saying, "Oh, we're launching ledger recovery now. If you lose your keys, there's a way to find them back," and everyone freaked out. And now what they've done, the final thing that they've done is they've put a pause to it for now. And they've said the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to consult more. The second thing is when they're ready, they're going to actually provide access to the logic so that third parties, whether that be a coder, just an individual person with coding ability, as well as companies, can verify what they're saying, that it's not anyone that can access it. However, it's just you with your own device if you can prove certain things, and then they'll see where it goes. So yeah, disappointing from a company that's Web3 native that they didn't expect the backlash that they were going to get. And we saw the same thing with Moonbirds when they all of a sudden made it not CCO. Or whenever there's been a unilateral decision made that affects the holders, we see the same backlash. That's what Web3 is. We want to be included. That's why there's DAOs. That's why there's things. Now, that's my understanding of all of it. But it does hurt their brand because people held them in very high esteem. And to see them come out, launch something, and then backtrack on it, they weren't sure themselves. Yes, if they've made a mistake, let's rather backtrack. But on the other side, why make that mistake in the beginning when you're such a massive Web3 native company?
This is about awareness. Like, you don't have to go this level of transparent for every announcement. But this is probably the biggest announcement Ledger's ever made ever. And the fact that they rolled it out like this, I'm like, dude, y'all have got to know. I made a TikTok about this. I actually did really well. And by the way, if you're a content creator right now, green screen. I heard Gary Vee talk about this about a year ago, and I think he was too early. Right now, green screens are doing well. Like, I'm getting 4 times the amount of views on it just by using the green screen. I'm also finding myself watching a lot of green screen content. So it's working. Just make yourself really small, stick yourself in the middle of the screen and talk about it. But with Ledger, I was going to say,
you were saying, Gary, yeah.
Hold on. It was right before the Gary Vee thing about the content, whatever I mentioned in that video. Here, actually, let me play this video because it's super quick. Or actually, no, never mind.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, the idea with it was like, if you need to know. God damn it! Because I already said it was something right after that. I don't remember what I was going to say. Never mind.
So the thing that I ended up saying, and if it doesn't come back to you, we'll just carry on. It doesn't matter. The thing I ended up saying is that you would expect more from a Web3 native company like Ledger than just rolling things out without, speaking to the community. And anytime I've seen anyone do that in Web3, they're just surprising them. And you were saying that this was their first big announcement.
Yeah.
That's what you started saying. And then we shared Crypto Dreams comment, and then we went, and then we lost it. But I don't know. Does that help in any way?
It should. I'm just trying to figure out because that video was only like less than a minute long. So here, let me play it because if I play it here, we should all be able to hear it because
I'm happy to do it. We're not in a rush.
Yeah.
With you.
Let's see if this pops up here. Let's see if it'll play. And here we go. I'd have to agree pretty much here. The fact that most people aren't responsible enough and honestly don't even want to be responsible enough to control and have custody of all their coins and all their money. But I think the real thing with this conversation, the reason it caught so much fucking heat, the Ledger story in general, is because the whole thing with like the backdoor, how they like always kind of could access your funds, and people just are like, so could you always have done it, or was this really, really just this recovery update that you guys just rolled out, which now they've actually pulled back and said, look, we're not going to drop it until it's been checked by everybody. Crypto Twitter went fucking berserk over this shit and literally forced Ledger's hand. I'm actually okay with this, especially if it comes out that Ledger's whole thing could have been, there could have been a backdoor the entire time. I would love to know if that's true or not. This will be Ledger's one of their biggest pivotal moments. I mean, they are a crypto hardware wallet company predicated on safety. This next update, this recovery could make or break their company. We'll be keeping track here at the Joyous Kingdom. Make sure you follow. So that was my point. The very, very end, that last statement was just like, specifically a crypto ledger wallet company. It's like, dude, I mean, you just got to know where you stand. Like, bro, you're a crypto hardware wallet company. It's not like you're not anything else. You were just a crypto hardware company. Your only thing is that you exist for the safety of people's crypto assets. I'm like, it's just so tone deaf. I'm like, guys, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's just hard to know because I don't know who was involved in this decision. I don't know if everyone on the team, especially the people that I know are think through things. I just can't, like, for the life of me, figure out
I
why
don't
people.
think there was a backdoor. I don't think there was a backdoor. I think it's a new update that they were planning on doing. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's always a hierarchy in companies. You've got your main decision makers. The rest of the people are not there to be involved in those decisions. The management can ask them for their input, but in the end of the day, they're there to enforce those decisions. So the decision is made high up, and then it's okay, here's a meeting, this is what we've decided, make this sound good, market this correctly, or whatever it may be. So, you can't put blame on any individuals in the company for doing it. Again, we're really early, and I think even the big companies are learning. And, let's just definitely learn from this. What damage this does to their brand remains to be seen. But, in the end of the day, again, a noble sort of cause or want. We understand why we want mass adoption, and this is something that could help that. But on the other side, the other thing, like they did those latest ones that are supposed to look nice and look like a necklace that you wear around your neck, and you say to yourself, "Hold on, if I've got $2 million sitting
Yeah.
there, I'm not going to want to wear that around my neck." Are you guys not understanding what we're using your devices for? I don't want
I always thought that was
I don't want a ledger keyring. I
I thought
don't
it was
want it on my keys.
I didn't know it was actually your ledger. I thought it was like a pendant.
Yeah, no,
I thought
it's
that's
your
what it
ledger.
was. I didn't know that was actually supposed to hold your real ledger. That's
Yeah,
because my ledger is
no,
big. Like, it's not going to fit around my necklace. Or is
but
that a new one?
it's the next thing, keyrings. That if you lose your keyrings or if your keyring gets stolen, you've lost $2 million.
Yeah.
And no, I don't want to carry my ledger around with my keys. I don't want it around my neck. It's like me literally putting a massive piece of gold worth $2 million around my neck all day. No, someone's gonna rob me. I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, even if they got your ledger, they couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, bro, they put a gun to your head and tell you to put your passphrase in.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like put one of your children in the microwave oven. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. You hear stories in South Africa. There was one story. I mean, it's too terrible. But that's what they did. They put the baby into the oven and said, "We're going to switch on this oven unless you open up your
Oh
safe."
no. Wait,
I
hold on.
mean,
What just
how
happened?
crazy is that?
We just got rugged on spaces. Look at
Right?
this.
You try figure that out.
We just got completely rugged. Look at the screen. It's like it's there, but it's not. You see the faces?
Yeah,
It's like it's still going,
maybe
but it's
just
not. It just informed me that it's just ended.
maybe
So,
because it was open on your computer as well, Cade.
no, I've had it open like that before. I'll just start a new one, I guess. I don't even know how to get rid of that one. That
All
is
right.
bizarre. Yeah, I'll start a new
Maybe
space.
try joining again. I'm going to leave it to you, but I'm going to carry on. Okay, you try sort that out. All right, then we've got Azuki coming up with a few consistent announcements. The one thing is that they've now got a new page specifically for sub communities within the Azuki community, which is nice to see. And then if you go to their website, you can see they show the strongest communities of their sub communities. So, anyone who is in the ecosystem can create their own sub community, invite people to it, and have sort of a way to connect. So, you've got Azuki Canada, Azuki Malaysia, Azuki New York, Azuki Japan. I imagine you'd have like a mod in there, like, guys who start it, and then people can join and discuss different things. And I think it is nice. In many ways, it's really nice to connect with people all around the world, and that's something really cool about Web3. On the other side, it's really nice to know, okay, who are the Azuki holders? If you were an Azuki holder, for example, who are the Azuki holders that are in South Africa, or in Cade's case, in San Francisco, or whatever it may be, right? So that you can really connect with them more intimately, possibly go out with them in real life, and build relationships that it's harder to build if there aren't these sort of sub communities. So again, something that's cool, something that's new that we haven't seen before, but they've come out with quite a lot of different updates. And again, we're seeing them incredibly strong. I mean, they're holding that 15 ETH floor or around about there. You've got your Azuki wheelchair, which we've seen. And if you think about it, they've only really dropped two collections. They've got Azuki and Beans, which is quite rare because typically you've got to drop more and more collections in order to keep engagement.
Mhm.
So I really think they've done really well to do what they've done with the amount of assets that they've done it with. And as time goes on, I'm definitely more and more long-term bullish on Azuki and what they are doing.
Yeah, no, Azuki's doing some cool shit. I was gonna say, if you want, I don't know if you can now, but if you want to rejoin the spaces, you can. I don't know I don't know what the fuck happened, but it's back up.
No, I'm happy it's back up. I won't be able to rejoin it, but I'm happy it's back up for sure.
True. All right.
Cool, my brother. So yeah, so that's Azuki side of things, doing really nice, and we did see they're sitting about a 14 ETH floor. Yeah,
True.
definitely.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know what it is. I just don't fuck with Azuki that much, dude. I really just don't. I don't know. I've just been so. I got turned off the second I found out, like long time ago when that first thing came out, and their floor price like got I don't know what it was. Ever since then, I'm just like, bro, whatever. I mean, they're crushing it. Like I don't know what their brand is about, other than the fact that it's like anime Azuki. Like, I just don't. Other than that, I'm like, all right. There's a bunch of anime projects. Like I don't understand why I would support this one when literally Zagabond's a doxed fucking scammer. So I'm like, I just don't get it. I'm like, why? There's tons of anime projects. Like they're all cool. I mean, if it's just about the art, there's just nothing inherently special about it. Like Pudgy Penguins are penguins. There's not really another penguin project. There's not really another seal project that's that great. The D Gods like their one thing. With the Azuki, I'm like, there's literally a million exact copies of it. And there's just nothing special about the Azuki thing that I see. And maybe I'm missing it, but I just don't understand. I just don't get the hype.
So I think it's exactly this. I think, geez, this is a big conversation. I think that when there is FUD, real FUD, legitimate FUD, like they had with. So just to give a very, very brief background, Azuki came out, they launched, came out that Zagabond, their founder, had previously founded two other NFT projects, both of which he had pretty much rugged, and that's being generous. He legitimately rugged. He left them. He didn't give them the keys to the assets. He didn't give anything back, and he left the projects. And then that came out. And it was big news, and his Twitter Spaces was a disgrace. He went on the Spaces, and he's got to go. He doesn't have time. Really, really bad. He really didn't perform well in that. And in all of our minds, I speak on behalf of Cade and I, but anyone who was big in the space, we were like, this is the end of them, because we had seen things like this happen before. We had Jungle Freaks, who was the Hustler comic. The father and son team, Jungle Freaks, where the dad was the comic guy for Hustler, and then it came out that he had done all these racist things, and Jungle Freaks went from 3 ETH to 0 pretty much overnight, and so that's what we thought was going to happen. So I think when there's legitimate FUD, like this Hustler comic guy who had previous problems with things he had to do when he was working for Hustler, as well as Zagabond, two things happen. You've got two options. Number one, the internal community bonds together and behind the founder, that it strengthens the inner community so much that they become an Azuki. So yes, the outside world it goes bad, but it actually brings the holders together. And that ends up making what is now an Azuki, an incredibly strong project.
That bothers me because I'm like, okay, so the only people left are the ones who said, oh, he scammed everyone, was a dick about it. Let's band together around that. That'll be the core of our brand. I'm like, bro, I have no desire to meet Zagabond, no desire to have a conversation with him. I'm like, bro, if I have no desire to be affiliated with anything about the core principles of the brand, why the fuck would I support that? I have no interest.
But there's 25,000 people. Well, I don't know how many unique holders.
They all bought at the top, dude. Like all these people bought at the top. It's the only reason that makes sense. I'm still here. Why? Well, I bought it 2070. Okay, that's why.
We've had this conversation before, you and I, briefly, from the perspective of, in the real world, in the world, if you want to start a business and you think you've got a great idea for a business, you go out there, you start that company, and you've got all the intention of the world, of all the best intentions in the world of making it a success, and it ends up not being a success. You hire people, you try your best, you market, you spend, and you end up owing more money than you're making, and you have to put it into business recovery or liquidation. That happens all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person can't ever start another company again. Doesn't mean that he had bad intentions to begin with or anything to that effect. In Web3, though, how else are you supposed to learn if you can't start a project? Now, I'm not saying it's okay to rug. He could have left on good terms. He could have handed over the profits and the keys to the community and things which he since did from the Azuki money because he had the third time was successful. He could have done better. But does that have to doom someone forever? How are you supposed to learn if there's no mistakes and no school fees? So that's the two sides of the coin. The other side of the coin is Cade's side of the coin, which I agree with to a large extent. You're a bloody thief. Any project that would have done well, you would have stuck with. Any project that didn't do well, you would have taken the money and run. You're lucky one of them did well, and yes, you're getting a great salary, so you're still there. So those are the two sides to the coin.
Yep.
But definitely an interesting use case in any environment where you see when you fight amongst yourself until both of you are in the same group that is being targeted, in which case that often brings people together and you stop worrying about your problems with each other and you focus together on how do we fight the outside world. That's sort of what happened in my eyes in Azuki. It brought them together as a community, but they have continually been innovating in the space since then. Even their gold-plated skateboards, which, there's only a couple of them and whatever. No one had done anything in real life like that. Their chip is a copy exactly of Clone X and Nike's chip. So that I won't give them as being their own.
No.
They launched it as revolutionary tech, but it's not. What else have they done? You said they haven't done much. They've done one or two interesting things. Trying to think, there are other stuff that we've covered that's been interesting.
They understand the game. I'm not against them. I just don't have any interest in them. Like, they're gonna do good stuff because they fucking made an unbelievable fucking bag on the secondary. I mean, what were they trade? What was the top for them? Did they got to 40 ETH, right? Didn't they get something crazy? Was that Azuki?
25.
25. Okay,
I
I was
stand to
thinking
be corrected, but
yeah,
that's still a huge amount of money. It doesn't.
An average of 25 ETH for a certain period of time.
And ETH was 3,000 to $3,500 at the time.
Ungodly amount of money. Like, they should be doing great stuff. I'm glad they are. I just have no interest in being a participant. I don't want to hold one. If someone sent me one, I would fucking sell it immediately. Like, I just don't have any interest in them. Like, I hope they do well, and I'm rooting, for them, I guess. But like, I don't fucking care. I just everything that they're about
from the holder's perspective.
Their founder is everything I don't want to find in a founder. So it's like everything that they're about is everything I'm not about. Like, that kind of person, that type of trader, that type of person who does something like that. I'm like, bro, I don't want to be associated with someone like that. Like, that's fine if they're gonna crush it. That's fine if they even redeem themselves. That's totally fine. I just don't want to associate with someone who's like that. And the fact that if Azuki hadn't done well, he would have rugged. I'm like, bro, that's just the facts of it. He literally would have rugged just like the other two projects. So I'm just kind of like, yeah.
The thing is that we know you're a community guy, and that's admirable and that's great. I don't want to hold one of these long term. However, I do think that there's huge opportunities to flip these.
Yeah,
and as the trader in me is very, very interested in picking them up at the right time and getting rid of them at the right time and doing that repeatedly to make a bit of profit.
Yep.
But it's not a community I want to be involved in long term either. So I agree with you to that extent. But good to see that they are doing things with that money that was raised and that they're still innovating in the space. And interesting to see. Yeah.
It's kind of funny that we went in that direction.
Yeah, who cares, man? That's Freestyle Friday. We see where it goes. We got Diggs, BTW. What's up? What's up? Nice to see you. Welcome to the Web3 show. Streams live every single Friday, 9:30 p.m. CEST. Live on Twitter Spaces, live on YouTube, on both Cade and my YouTube. Live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and everywhere else. We cover the latest weekly NFT Web3 news, and we're glad to have you.
Hell yeah. Appreciate all y'all.
Something interesting is that we've now got Bitcoin as the second biggest NFT blockchain.
Wow.
So they've now officially overtaken Solana. So obviously Ethereum is number one. Bitcoin has now taken over Solana. They are the second most popular NFT blockchain. And it's that's the story. That's the effect of the story. The question is, do they carry on in this trajectory? Do they then take over Ethereum, and do they become the gold standard for NFTs?
Mm,
Do they remain second place to ETH because ETH are the OGs, or do they end up sort of slowly bleeding, and and Solana gets its place back? What is
yeah,
the future of this? Is the real question.
dude, I think Bitcoin NFTs. I'm not too deep into it, but the idea of a Bitcoin NFT marketplace sounds a lot more intriguing than Solana, to be honest. However, there will always be that degen, trading for $37 profits that the Solana ecosystem's a little bit more publicly known for, whether or not that's even true. I know that the smaller trades are there on Solana. The bigger trades are probably on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's just got that, dude. The word Bitcoin just carries a certain level of weight to it that Solana just doesn't. So from a purely brand perspective, I think this could hold. It depends on it pretty much just depends on the community that comes together around these projects on Bitcoin. If they're able to generate some of the interest that some of the more successful projects on ETH have done, if they're able to do that, then I think they definitely have a place. If they do everything that we're doing, plus they're just Bitcoin, I think they'll do well. What do you think?
Yeah, you know me. I mean, the second it came out, I'm on camera saying, "This is it, bro."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah," and you said to me, "You even said, would you rather have an ETH CryptoPunk or a Bitcoin
Mhm.
one?" And I said, "It's not such a simple answer. There's a part of me that says Bitcoin." So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. I for a content side, if I use the word, if people use the word Bitcoin, it tends to do decent. It's the most famous word in crypto. Like it's probably more famous than the word crypto. Bitcoin.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's that it's literally a Satoshi that it's written
Yeah,
on. So
and I
there's
like that.
always that. Even if it goes to absolute zero, if Bitcoin hits $10 million and you've got one Satoshi of Bitcoin, that's still worth $100,
Yep.
$200, no matter what happens. You've got that to some degree. The downside of that is that the fact that it has to be written on a Satoshi
Yeah.
limits the ability to have smart contracts in place that can govern how it works. And that's the challenges that we're seeing at the moment,
Yeah.
with you having to literally mint you as the founder having to mint the entire, let's say, 1,000 collection first, and almost manually send each one to every person that pays you. Yes, you could make that process more automated. I've got stock of 1,000 ordinals, and every time I get payment, it automatically randomly sends one. But it's not on chain anymore. That could just be a bot or something to that effect.
Yeah.
So it's just definitely got its pros and cons, but it
I also
limited in what it can do.
I also don't know how. Like, I think this will always matter in the little NFT degen bubble, whether or not it's Bitcoin or ETH. But let's think about it from the perspective of some of the brands. So if we just take any of the companies, for example, we'll just use Starbucks because they've already got their shit going. Nobody gives a single fuck if it's on Bitcoin or Ethereum or Polygon or anything. It just doesn't matter to those people. For 20% of the NFT degens, they care. They're out here discussing what exactly an ordinal is, what exactly is a BTC, whatever number coin thing. Like, nobody actually cares about that. It's just the people that are bored right now. Like, imagine going on a space and learning about BTC or BRC, whatever they're called, and caring. It just doesn't matter. It only matters in the context of today's news, right? But if you're looking at it from a bigger macro perspective, depending on your goals for NFT land, if your goals are to be at the cutting edge, bro, I just don't really know, like, what is the reason that people are caring about it, other than the fact that we're kind of bored right now. Like, once the real companies come in, I just don't know if those politics are going to matter as much. Like, I don't
But
know.
that's true to NFTs in general,
Yeah.
not blockchain technology,
Right.
but NFTs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that holds the same. Because in our little NFT bubble, this is big. This is big. The Bitcoin ordinals are massive, because all of a sudden you now have a market of people who, before, the Bitcoin guys were saying, NFTs are a scam, and
Yeah.
now it's on Bitcoin, and a part of Bitcoin is all of a sudden this is pretty cool, right? And remember, layer twos like ETH and stuff like that have got really good use cases. Bitcoin doesn't have other use cases except being the digital gold, which in a way is a positive to it,
Yeah.
because it will never be declared a security. I mean, listen, that could be. I might eat my words, but in my understanding, the way that it has been launched, it can never be declared a security. Whereas all the other ones are open to being that because there's people behind it that are doing things with it. So from a store value perspective, crypto is incredibly risky. Bitcoin is the least risky out of all of them. And now you have the ability to have a bit of fun and have something inscribed onto a piece of Bitcoin. And that's big news for NFT world. Um, what you're saying applies to NFTs. Are we going to care in 10, 15 years' time about a picture of a penguin on a Satoshi? Or is the thing that we're really going to care about the AI, the virtual reality side of things, the blockchain technology? I mean, that's what I've been saying for a long time. The NFT side is going to fall
What's
away
the
to a
it's like
large degree.
the innovative part of it, like the whole story right now with Pudgy Penguins is cool, regardless of if you're in NFTs or not. And I think it's going to be about that, about harnessing the hearts of people. And I just don't think that that's going to be a huge factor of that, no matter what, in the near future, or the long-term future. I think it does. I mean, it can matter in, like, I'm not sure. Like, it's hard for me to put an opinion on this because I'm not so much interested in participating in these Twitter spaces. And there's a period where I got really deep into spaces because things were interesting and I thought it was applicable. And then now I've kind of been listening to some of the spaces as of recent, and I'm like, dude, I just can't imagine having interest in the topics that I'm seeing on the spaces. And I'm like, there must be, like, I'm trying to figure out what the thing that is interesting is, because people will flock to it when you have something interesting to say. Or I just sit here and I'm like, bro, we're begging for something interesting to happen, right? Like you can't have a Twitter space titled BTC 37.2 rug. And I'm like, but nobody cares about that. And the people that are on stage don't care about that. They're just like, I guess I got to talk about this because I want to get followers and sound smart about something. I'm just sitting here going like, dude, we got to figure out something that's interesting to talk about with reason. That's actually interesting to talk about. And I don't know what that is, because it's kind of frustrating, because you're like, who do you market it toward? You market it toward the NFT people. And then you're like, what's the goal? Is the goal to sell more? Is like, I think we just need to figure out the identity. I think is the biggest thing. Is why I've been struggling to make content, even unless it's related to the business or some sort of career
But
thing.
it's exactly in the stories that we've said today. It's the ones where there's in real life proper things happening, and the NFT is just access to that community.
Yeah.
So Veecon is a perfect example. Pudgy Penguins is a perfect example. All of these things that we've been talking about now, where the NFT in and of itself is not the novelty item. That's not the thing. It's that, okay, it allows me to prove that I'm in this community, or it gets me a discount on this, or, I've got a matching toy. Now, there's a digital version of it. Let me, like you said, at Veecon, that guy who wanted to, that's where it was. Or now the next story takes us nicely into it. We got Stepn, that app, that move to earn app, that had all that FUD about people not wanting to know where they are. They're the first app, a Web3 lifestyle app, that's now been able to integrate crypto in Apple Pay. So in their app, you can now buy different accessories with crypto in Apple Pay. And there was that whole thing with Apple that they wanted a percentage even of the royalty fees.
Yeah.
And that was there was that court case that we spoke about where that was ruled that that's illegal. And now for the first time, the very first app, one that I remember when it launched, I actually flipped this. I did really well. As a Bored Ape holder, you got a free NFT. I think I flipped it for 1 ETH. I paid nothing for it. But here, a project that I've heard of, that I know of, they're now allowing crypto to be used to purchase things in the Apple Store. And I think that that's absolutely massive, dude. That's the future of the space. That's the interesting stuff.
Yep.
It's where we can see, okay, we know who Apple is. We know what Apple Pay is. We know what the App Store is. Here is a project which tracks you when you do exercise. What's a great way to have proof of that? The blockchain. So yes, it uses NFT technology, but that's not do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's actually a use case for the NFT in this. You really do want something that's a ledger of every step you take, that's irrefutable, and that's what blockchain technology is. So I don't know. Does that answer sort of the question we were talking about before this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, I'm mainly more struggling with the content side of it, of like, who am I talking to? Who do I want to be talking to? decision of, do I go for more virality and more people to watch the content, or do I specify the target audience and go smaller?
No, stay what you're passionate. Like we said last time, stay what you're passionate about, and the right people will come to you, whatever that is. If your shows of interviewing yourself is where you've got the passion, do that. And guys will come to you. Same as what I said. I'm just not feeling passionate about TikTok and shorts. And it's not like I just tried them. Bro, I've been doing them for a year now. Yeah. It's like I can say to myself, look in the mirror and say, look, I've tried this properly. This is not my thing. I'm not enjoying it. Right? So I'm saying, I really do believe it translates through the camera. That when you and I read a story and we're like, oh my God, this is amazing. That's when viewers connect with it. That's when a Spaces gets busy. When it's like, oh, we've got a Spaces every day, let's just find a topic to try and speak about for an hour. That's where no one's coming anymore. And that's why it doesn't make sense, you know? So that would be my thing to you. And I don't know everything, bro, but my thing to you would be just keep where the passion is. And that's where people will gravitate to Cade, because they'll see the passionate Cade versus a guy who's reading a freaking script that he's not interested in, you know?
Yeah, true. I'm not gonna lie though, dude. I still disagree with you on that. I still think, I know you gave it your all, but I don't think that it's kind of like a carpenter giving their all on an electrician's job. I'm with you. Like, I think here's what I think. If I hired my editor to clip up this show and you saw what he was able to pull from it, I think you would change your mind and be like, oh, I just thought about this differently. Because I truly do believe that. Because I know that you think that the ROI is not there. But I think it's because the right choice of clips hasn't been shown, where you're like, oh, I see now. I think that's what it is. So I'm not sure. But whatever.
Look, feel free. You can take any clip from any video you want, send it to me. I will post it and let's see what happens. It's not even the ROI, because to be honest, if it was about ROI, this show would have stopped a year ago. This show, this is YouTube algorithm. Why not making $40-50 a month, right, directly off YouTube? In the bull market, yes, we did reviews and paid reviews, and we disclosed it, and there was money and whatever. But for now, there's nothing. I mean, it's become a passion and something that I enjoy. So that's not really the shorts. However, I'm with you. I never did the short the way shorts supposed to do. Me looking at the screen with the thing doing it. But
no. I mean podcast clips too. I mean podcast clips too. But to get it in a way where people watch it and it's a super quick bit on like, oh, that's Philip's perspective on this thing. That's what I want. Like the problem with a lot of the shorts that I saw, but they're so out of context and there was no direction or reason at the end to watch it, where I would watch it and not really know what to think. And I think it's because of that. I think if there's a goal, if the editor knows, like, this is the goal of the short, is to get Philip's perspective on this, so more people realize, oh, that's Philip. Oh, that's his. Oh, I like his perspective. He has a show. I better tune in the show one day. But they wouldn't have any of those thoughts without it, because they're not going to tune into a 2-hour show. And the chance of them turning into a 2-hour show and pulling in at the most
something that resonates time,
that's almost zero.
I'm with you. It's almost like an advert in a way. You say, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
If I was richer, I would get all these podcasts. I would get podcast clips from this show and just do it anyway. But yeah, anyways, whatever. As far as the Stepn thing though, really love the Stepn thing. I remember when they crashed, we were all like, I guess it's over for them. But I guess that's where we fail. I guess we forget to count out an idea more than like the specific product that failed, the specific company that failed. You're like, oh, does the idea maybe make sense? Is there a way to mesh with this idea where we can get it to work? Like, that's kind of cool.
I think the problem is lack of patience. I think people do not, in Web3 space, people do not realize that really amazing things take time to build.
Yeah.
You look at OpenAI, for example, with Elon Musk. He started that company over a decade ago. Okay, and you're talking about a guy with a lot of resources now, and it's taken 10 years before anyone's even talking about it, man.
Yeah.
Here in Web3, it's like, I bought your NFT, it launched yesterday. Why the hell haven't you created a shopping center with the ice rink on the roof? And what is wrong with all of you? Why? And then they're shitting on you all day. You're so busy trying to put out fires with your community and keep them okay, that you can't even focus on the medium to long-term plans that are actually decent. I mean, that's the problem, right? I mean, so I think people are realizing these things take time, and that's why it's nice to
Well,
see a year or two into it. These
yes,
projects are Pudgy Penguins now has
right.
the real toys in store. That's so cool. Stepn is in Apple's. So now I think is when it actually gets interesting because the couple of maybe the dozen projects out of the thousand at the time that actually have been executing, we're now starting to slowly see the fruits of their last 2 years of
Yes.
labor. And that's what's really nice to
And
see.
you create a micro industry. So for content creators, listen up right now. Here's one of my plans for the year. I'm choosing 2 or 3 companies that I think are lit, and I'm going to start making content for them as if I already work for them. Make content I think might be interesting to create a micro industry within it. You're like, oh, here's what's going on here. Say it in a way where you can actually get an audience there. But like right now, we're seeing that. Like y'all know I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. I'm not I've been watching a lot of content. I've gotten really deep into the lore. I think I'm gonna have to read the books at some point. But there's a couple girls that I watch that are super fan, like super lore, like they explain it really well. They're amazing storytellers, and they're out here and they've figured out how to exploit the industry of Game of Thrones and figure out a way to make an industry about Game of Thrones. It's so interesting because they're like, yo, what would have happened if Damon had not killed this person? And then she goes and fucking just uses a little bit of the lore, a little bit of her creativity and imagination, and creates a fun little, oh, that would be pretty crazy if that happened. And like, there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions that she answers every day, multiple videos a day. And I'm thinking, yo, you could do something similar, especially with a company that's doing really well, and tie your brand to them. You're like, yo, if you're interested in this stuff, I'm covering them. 3 videos a week. I'm covering what they're doing. If you're interested, then carry on it and join with me. I bet you after 10 videos of any project that you post about or any company, they'll have seen at least one. And if they're even remotely interested, they'll probably like it and be like, yo, let's keep track of what they're doing. Maybe they'll post a cool video. Maybe we'll hit them up and give them some, sneak peek information before, because we know they're going to cover it and they've got an audience that covers it. What an opportunity for to not only contribute to your own career, but to truly contribute to the Web3 space and participate for real, dude. Like, that's an opportunity for everyone here. You don't have to be a content creator. You can do these on Twitter threads. You can do Twitter spaces on it. You can do different mediums of getting this information out there. You can, if you're an artist,
You can do like fan art, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I think that's a good strategy for you, Kate, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's always been the thing. I provide a service sort of for free,
Yeah.
and see where and get recognized a good service for free, and then the right people will recognize that for sure.
Yeah.
Just don't do it too long if they're not recognizing it. Move on to the next one, right? Because
Exactly.
otherwise, you're just spending time and energy for nothing. All right, well, our last story, if anyone wants to ask any questions, regardless of where you are, you can type it in Twitter Spaces on YouTube. And we will, if there's anything there, we will chat about it. Last story before we get to Q&A, and then we'll wrap it up. You ready, my brother?
I'm ready.
Let's go. So exactly what we were talking about right now. Another project that I remember very well, LinksDAO. They came out in the beginning about a year and a half ago, and they said that they are going to be a membership to many different golf clubs in the world, that if you hold their NFT, you will get free access to their golf courses. They're going to buy golf courses in many popular locations. And again, this was a long-term plan. So if you were a big golf enthusiast and you own a LinksDAO NFT, the plan in 10, 15, 20 years is and you travel a lot, there will be a LinksDAO golf course for you that you can walk into and have local membership.
Right.
And now we see that they've closed the purchase of one of their golf courses. It's officially theirs. So again, exactly what we were saying, Cade, like people that were these projects that were promising things with good intention just needed time, because these things take time. They're now starting to deliver. And that's what you see here. They've actually purchased this golf course. And if you are a holder, you'll have full access to it. And the deal's done. That's theirs. It belongs to them. And again, just nice to see things coming together, things that were promised originally, being there.
Yep. Yeah, man, 100%. That's fucking awesome. And you're right, dude. As this stuff gets better, like here's a cool life example. You're sitting here, you're going, bro, people are sleeping on me. I just need to cook for 4 months. Like, let me cook, And for me, there's been a few things that I'm like, bro, I'm just gonna need to wait 4 months before I know whether or not I was right. And there's certain things where I'm like, bro, I'll get to that. I just need 3 months. I'm not putting this off. I'm not making excuses. I just literally need time. And we're in a world where we're conditioned to think that that's not okay. It's not normal. It's not right. Fam, real moves take fucking time. Like, I want to learn trading. I started that journey like 5 months ago. And the first 3 months were just me poking around a little bit, asking questions, going to a couple events real quick, talking to my friends, asking questions, things like that. I knew it was going to take 3 months of immersion before I would even have the confidence to look at a chart and attempt to mark it up. And I gave myself 3 months to get there. And after the 3-month mark, I said, okay, let me attend a trading session and like just make a trade real quick. And I let myself have the time. It doesn't have to go full speed. Most of the cool things take a little bit of time. This is awesome, dude. And the real moves that you can actually talk about and expand on, they take time. Just like everything else in life, the NFT space isn't different because things move fast. The real stuff, the real big decisions take time no matter what, even in the NFT space. And you guys know nothing great, comes easy like that. They take time.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go through these periods.
And I think that's really one of the pros and one of the benefits that we've seen that's come out from this extended bear market is that you can't now buy something at 1 ETH and sell it at 2 ETH the next day.
Right.
So that whole mentality of trading and those traders, the people that only had a short-term focus, which is okay. I was one of them.
Yeah.
Who literally was like, okay, well, I can turn $1 into $2. Those guys have mostly gone out, and the projects that had no intention of ever delivering anything and were just, trying to milk it as best as they could have also gone because they launch and they sell one NFT and they can't even give them away free.
Right.
So it really has. It's washed out a lot of the crap. Don't get me wrong, there still is crap, but a lot less than there was. And as time goes by, the people that are left are really guys who believe in this stuff. And those are, I mean, it's hard to know because we're streaming to 2 Twitter places and whatever. But on my Twitter space here, on my YouTube, we've got 7. On yours, I don't know. Let's assume we got 7. Twitter, we got 7. I know Facebook, we've got about 8. So you add it together, we've got 30, 40 people. The 30, 40 people that are watching here at the moment, still in this market 2 years, 3 years later, those are the guys that are going to be at the forefront of it when and if it turns around, because we here because we love it. We hooked. Something about it gave us something that it wasn't just about the flipping. Because when last did you mint something at 0.1 and sell it at 0.2? It's been 6 months, a year. So the guys who were just there for that are gone, but the guys who love the community aspect, like you, Cade, and the guys like me that are fascinated by the technology side, we're not going anywhere. Regardless, there could be just you and I talking here and 0 viewers. I'm going to be doing this because I know with every ounce of my being that AI, Web3, blockchain is the future, and I want to be there when everyone else realizes it, right? And I think everyone who's here now is like that. So I think that's the good thing about this market. It really does separate the men from the boys as far as who had the right intentions and who really believes in the stuff.
And I also think most people, like, the reason I make so much content towards people trying to do something in this industry is I just don't believe that there are people here that are in Web3 that are not looking for an opportunity. Because I'm like, there's just that the money making opportunity is not there. Like the trading aspect is really not there for 99% of the industry. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to assume that most people are here because they're looking for that one tweet or that one connection, that one whatever that's going to get them a job. It's going to get them to, be able to do something creative and get paid for it or make a cool connection. Like, I feel like that's the main reason people are here. If you go into a Discord and you ask people why they're here, I feel like that's the main reason they're here. And I think because of that, it's important to make content on how to get those opportunities, especially if you have some of them already and some of the shortcuts they can make, some of the reasons you think, if you're full-time, at least, I think I want to see more people who are full-time talk about how to get an opportunity. Because I know that a lot of them got an opportunity in a different type of market, and maybe that's the reason they're full-time. But I still think there are things that they're doing that allow them to still be full-time. Like the reason I'm full-time right now in Web3 is a very different reason than when it started. I got full-time originally from a job as a lead analyst and content creator for Ugaverse. I'm still doing content, but I'm not doing content for them, and I'm not doing, analyst type of stuff anymore. I'm doing full-time content mainly right now. A lot of my income's coming from TikTok, from Fortune 500 companies, not Web3 companies. So it's like, that is very, like, how are you here when you started there? It's like those kind of conversations are where people can go, oh, wait, but I do this. I could try that. And I can morph this thing that he said and try it here. And I want more people to or I hate saying it, at least, but I want more people to be looking for those opportunities. Because when I was at Veecon, I looked for random shit to happen. And dude, one of the coolest connections I made happened before I got in the elevator leaving an event. After I left a party that I thought was going to bring me that opportunity, that connection. I left that party, and as I was leaving, someone behind me, her name is Somi, connected with her, ended up getting lunch with this other guy, ended up being friends with them and walking around a lot of the time at Veecon with them. And it became because I was looking for that one person that might change the game for me, that I might meet on accident. I looked for that. And so I did say hi instead of ignoring her when I saw her right behind me. You know, it's kind of those things. Like, if you look for those things, they'll happen because they're already happening around you. Like, they're already happening around you. Imagine you're walking down the street on the worst day of your life. You're walking and nothing about the street is different. Nothing about the person across the street's different. You just feel like shit inside. And on the other flip side of it, if you're feeling great, it's the best day of your life. You're walking on the exact same street, the exact same person across the street. Nothing changed about anything but the way you feel inside. So if the way you feel inside is I'm looking for fucking opportunities, I'm looking to meet the right people, then every person could be that person. And the chances are you're going to find that person versus the other person who's not looking for that opportunity. And that's part of the brand I'm trying to bring into the Web3 space, because I know that Web3 alone isn't enough to create an industry. You being a Web3 company is not enough. There's got to be something extra. There's some real glue that holds communities together. And that glue, in my opinion, is not going to be the blockchain. It's not going to be the NFTs. It's going to be about what they represent and the people that represent these PFPs. I think that's important as fuck. And it's something that I forgot to talk about for like a year because I got caught up in all the other nonsense, when in the reality, the main reason I'm here is because of these soft skills. The main reason a lot of these people who are full-time in Web3, especially content creators, is because of their soft skills. It's not because of anything else. Part of it's because of their large followings. I'm sure there are people in their spaces who are just trying to capitalize on the numbers and to be seen by their favorite content creator. But there is something underlying, and I think it's important as fuck. And we just don't talk about it.
I agree. I do think that, in any industry, networking is huge. And especially here where it's such a small niche community, Web3, networking is a massive. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so proud of you going to these events. Like, you sent me a message, and thank you for doing it so much in advance. I think the Tuesday, saying, bro, an opportunity to be at Veecon has come. Like, yeah. I'm not making the show. And my reaction was amazing, bro. I'm so happy. Like go and, but that was my genuine reaction. Like, go do that. That's what this is about. Networking, especially with such a small amount of people left. Make those relationships, make those connections, real connections, because that's where it's going to be. I do think that now that we're in this extended bear market, which we are in, it makes it very hard to solely be reliant on Web3 for your income. Yep. Like, I really do feel sorry for people who need a full-time Web3 job, because it's so volatile in this, with this market where it is at the moment. Those opportunities to be a community manager, a mod, and to make one ETH a month are gone. That does not exist anymore. There's just, you've lost that. So I do feel sorry for people who are looking for that. But I do think if you just meet one of the right people, I'm not talking the Gary V's and the Tom Bilkus and all those guys. I'm saying, one guy who you and him connect and you do something together that could potentially in 5 years, not even in 2 years, in 1 year, bear fruits that you've never imagined. What an amazing thing,
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. The opportunities are there, fam. Even if you don't know what it is or where it is, the only thing that matters is you're looking for it. And I'm still looking for it. I'm looking for opportunities, dude. I'm looking to make changes and make decisions on the go and do cool stuff, because, fam, like, we're out here in Web3 right now. Like, you're looking at 0.01% of the population that are obsessed with these things. And I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. I just think it's cool. I think it's cool that we're still here. I think it's cool that Web3 can bring together an audience like a Veecon. I think it's cool that we literally have the chance to do some of these things. I feel like I think the reason I'm thinking about these things the way I'm thinking about them is because of that experience at Veecon, because I saw how different it was to be there than NFT NYC, where I was pretty much there to network. At NFT NYC, I was there to network, have cool opportunities pop up, and meet cool people. But none of the things I really looked for were like, I guess more like deeper reasons. And when I got to Veecon and saw some of the people that were there, I saw Gentle Tornado GT open up and MC Veecon at the very, very beginning. And he did that from making gratitude videos every day. He's 450 videos in right now, every day, making a video about gratitude. And it reminded me, because he was like, bro, I'm here opening Veecon by not doing anything. All I did was go on camera and talk about how grateful I am for this or that. And I just showed up and did that and helped deliver something that was, maybe it doesn't have an exact number that can quantify it, but it opened up opportunity for him to work with Gary Vee, and no doubt got another gig from this. I mean, you can't open up a Veecon and probably not get something out of it, or at least get a ton of great content from it. But to see someone push something that's not specifically calculable on like how much this helped, it just reminded me that that's also very
just being legitimate. That's what I was saying to you. He was just doing something that he legitimately felt, and he got recognized for it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's exactly that. And that just brings us on to the fact that thank you to each and every one of you who joins us every Friday. Really, we appreciate it. We love talking about this stuff. And, especially our OGs, and you guys know who you are. But to everyone, thank you for coming. We believe in the space. You guys believe in the space. And it's good to have like-minded people. We will be here same time next week, 9:30 p.m. CEST. Don't forget to join us. But guys, thank you again. Keep well, and we'll see you next time.